Welcome to Doha, the capital city of Qatar and the stage for week 6 of the Doha Equestrian Tour. This week we bring you CSI Alshaqab, presented by Longines, one of only 5 events of its kind in the world. Yesterday we saw 2 exciting 5-star competitions on the opening day, and this is how they all played out.
Jumps the inside of the style, gallops to the last. This is a contender. Is she quick enough?
The time to beat is 28.32. She is quicker. Over a third of a second quicker for Laura Tribe. Flash to Talma into the lead. France.
On the angle. This 17-year-old has been around the world. He's won so many classes. Just keep it together now. He has this class in the bag. If he just holds it and leaves the last fence up, here he comes. Has to go into the lead. Time to beat is 67.19. That is a significant lead. 3 seconds quicker than what was the leading time. The world #1 goes into rank 1. What a round by Great Britain's Scott Brash.
Scott, huge congratulations, another 5-star to the tally. Tell me about your round on Hello Jefferson.
Yeah, Jefferson was incredible yet again. I was a bit lucky. #1, I hit the wing, and then out the triple, I only have to think where I'm going next, and he's really on it. So I have to be careful of that in the future, just make sure I keep him straight. But yeah, delighted with him. He's in top form.
And he's obviously one of your most experienced horses here in age. Do you think that helps out here?
Yeah, definitely. I know him so well. We really understand one another, and he's already looking for the next fence. At his age, he knows what we're doing, and he loves his job. So yeah, he's a joy to ride.
Well, what a fantastic day we had yesterday, day 1 of CSI Alshaqab, presented by Longines. We've got plenty more action for you on this second day of competition. This evening, we're kicking off with a 3-star competition, and then the feature class of today will be the 5-star jump-off competition. That has a prize fund of €165,000. Another one of these competitions with fantastic prize money on offer throughout the Doha Equestrian Tour. And remember, this tour has taken place over several weeks already, and overall is worth over €10 million in prize money. So quite an impressive list there of prizes, and quite an impressive prize money fund as well across this series. The CSI event, though, is quite unique. One of only 5 of its kind in the world, bringing together 5-star show jumping with 5-star dressage as well as para-dressage. And we have some of the world's best athletes in each of those disciplines here to compete. One of those is Pepo Puch. He is an icon of the para-dressage world, and we caught up with him earlier on.
I'm Pepo Puch from Austria, and we are happy to be here in Doha. Sailors Blue is my old partner over years, and he was here years ago, and he's easy for the traveling, and he enjoyed to come and fly and to do this. So we go together, and it's really a partnership, and we are happy. I have now Sailors Blue more like 10 years, so we know really each other. We are really an old couple. I have a broken neck, so I'm really stiff in the body, my hands are shaking, and he really tried to hold my hand quiet and stay on the bit and bring the bag up and carry me in the middle and balanced. And this is really what he know how I'm working, and we're together, we are successful, and that's the nice thing, and it's every day a pleasure. He can be quite fresh and naughty with other one, but when I am here, you have to be polite. For me, it's not important. The result is if I am in the harmony with my horse, and if you have some moments, a rider, if you think on something and the horse is doing it, then you are like in the highest level. And this is the goal for me. It's not the result. If the result is good, I'm of course happy, but important is to have the good partnership. You have 5 different classes in the para-dressage. The grade 5, they have the lowest problems. So they have one arm problem, And in the grade 1, the head is only able to walk, so they have no trot, no canter. They are also the body and the leg and hands have a problem. And for us, is so only my left leg is okay. So all other things, I broke my neck with a safety jacket, with an airbag. And between the helm and the jacket, I broke my neck. I don't feel the arms, I don't feel the body. And the horse trained me and mobilized me. So we have these 2 classes, the Grand Prix A and the Grand Prix B and the freestyle, and they stay in the grade 2. And this is what we have to do here now. And I'm happy, especially afterwards in the freestyle. We have a music to choose, and Sailors Blue have jazz with Rhapsody in Blue. Doha is really like a championship. So we have this year the World Championships in Aachen, and it's a lot of atmosphere, a lot of noise, and this is the good training. So it's really a training for me, for Aachen, for the World Equestrians, to be here in Doha. You have the goal the whole winter to come here to Doha, and so you are more focused and more preparing for this big show. I'm from Austria, in the middle of Austria, from the Alps, and they have the Haflingers to cut the trees and bring the wood out. And with this, we start with Haflingers riding. And from the Haflinger, I really love to ride, and so my family have no horse contact before, and with this I start more and more to do it and grow up and come to the eventing and stay in England and did badminton Burley and did the Olympics, and so it's really fantastic, this connection with horses. After my accident, I'm really happy to have a therapy. For me, it's like physiotherapy, to sit on the horse, and the horse train me, and I have to do it completely different. Before I train horses, and now the horses train me. It's great to have still the connection and to work with horses.
Well, wonderful to hear there from one of our para-dressage athletes, and fantastic to hear really about the partnership that he has with his horses. And of course, that is something that we see across all of the disciplines here, and is something that really has to be admired about all of our competitors. Interestingly, Peppo there mentioning as well that this is like a championships. Lots of these riders are coming to Doha to prepare their horses for the very biggest stages. Of course, this is one of the biggest stages in the world, but competing over several days gives them the opportunity to build that stamina, and also, of course, to get used to competing over a series of different events, not only in the dressage and para-dressage, but in the show jumping arena as well, the Longines outdoor arena just behind me, and that will be the stage for the 5-star show jumping. We also have 3-star and some young horse competitions as well, and they're really able to develop their horses over the course of the week and bring quite the range of equine athletes to this venue. Let's turn though to tonight's competitions. These are going to be taking place over courses set once again by Italy's Giuliano Vezzani. He is one of the preeminent course designers in the world, and our analyst Tom Frayne is down on the ground once again to take us through the course.
Thank you, Hannah. We're here in the main arena again this evening. Our first class under lights this evening is going to be a 3-star, 1m30, 1-round speed class. We have 77 horse rider combinations coming to post, and nice track set out here by Giuliano. We're going to start over in the far corner, a nice vertical. We can see some of the riders here already just having a walk around. Tess and Christian having a look. They're going to walk the distance. So very simply, jump the vertical, and then it's 9 strides down from 1 to 2. And then probably the most interesting part of the course, quite early in the course, is this turn back from 2 to 3. You can see the big screen in the background. So any of the younger horses, maybe less experienced horses, might just struggle here a little bit, because it's almost a 180-degree turn back here. So they'll jump this, have to come up into the corner. We have a little water feature as well here in the corner. You have the big screen, and then the third fence is an oxer coming away from the pocket. So riders are going to be nice and careful at this. They don't want to be too brave this early in the course and end their night on the third fence. So we'll see the riders coming a little bit wide here. Whoever wins the class is going to have to be very brave here. They'll have a more experienced horse, probably one of the more established rider combinations. But this class will give a great opportunity to some, particularly the local riders, get an opportunity here in front of their friends and family to try and get a result. 3 to 4, going to be a nice 6 stride on a bending line. And then what they'll do is they'll continue on right-handed all the way around the arena. Again, pick up a good gallop and then keep coming. You have a nice vertical here. You're going to jump this. And then a bending line from 5 to 6. 7 strides, across the middle of the arena, nice square oxer, 4 poles in front, should ride very nicely. We expect them to jump this fence very, very well. And this sets them up then very nicely as they head across the arena from 6 to 7. And they have a 6 stride pattern to the first of our combinations. It's an oxer vertical, 1 stride, oxer going in. So as you see, we'll pop 6, nice bending line up to this vertical. Now again we have a turn, a roll back, so back left-handed. I doubt very much anybody's going to be brave enough to come on the inside line. It's a little bit tight for my liking. They'll come around, jump this nice vertical, and then a straight line, almost. It looks like a straight line from 8 to 9. There's a little bit of a bow on it. 8 to 9 are probably going to ride on a nice 7. If somebody's particularly brave or has a huge striding horse, they may decide to leave out a stride here. This is all about being nice and smooth, taking the quickest possible line, being as neat and tidy as you possibly can. Land over 9, it's a decent oxer, the Longines oxer. Remember, this is just a 1 meter 30 class. Nothing compared to the 1 meter 50 class we'll have later on this afternoon. Double of verticals then at 10A, heading into the corner of the arena on a nice bending line. Approximately 8 strides here. Somebody could be very brave and come up on a big striding horse again, as we say. And then what they're going to do is swing back right-handed, jump fence number 11. You can see they're almost turning back on themselves. They can jump this again on the angle, and then they can come up the inside line. You'll see fence 12 here is a style. By that, what I mean is the poles are quite short. So this is the last fence that they have. So we have 12 fences, we have 14 jumping efforts. It's basically, we're going to have a large field of riders. We have 77 horse rider combinations, so the different riders will have different objectives to try and see what they want to do this evening. We'll definitely have a lot of younger horses. It'll be very exciting to see those young horses coming out into this big arena and see how they cope. These will be the superstars for the future. We're also going to have some of the local riders will be here. This is a big opportunity for them to do well on the home stage in front of their friends and family, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of our local riders will be looking at this class in particular at an opportunity. Let's walk this way for a second. We'll see who we can have a word with. David, can we have a quick word, please? I see you have an entry in this class. Good to see you.
Hi there.
Keeping well?
Yes, relatively.
Absolutely. What do you think of this course?
I'm at number 3. I can't give an assertion at this moment in time.
You've been chatting to everybody.
I've been talking to
having a very sociable evening.
No.
You have a horse in this. What number are you to go?
I'm riding a super complicated horse from one of my students, and let's just... I don't know what's going to happen. But
great opportunity here for seasoned campaigners like yourself to bring students to the fantastic arena.
It's phenomenal. Absolutely. Everything here is, the facilities are just amazing.
Have you many students here?
I've got 2 really legitimate, enthusiastic ones, and yeah, they've got some lovely horses now, so I'm delighted with the way it's progressing.
They're enjoying the experience. How many weeks are you here for?
I'm sort of on and off. I come in, I fly back home. I live near the Sunshine Tour, so I spend a few days watching that and then come back.
It's a brilliant opportunity.
This is an amazing place. But I think you have to come here with seasoned horses if you want to ride at the better level.
Oh, at the top level when you look around this ring. But definitely for the young riders as an education place, it's superb.
Phenomenal. There's nowhere in the world like this, in my opinion. Not where I've been, anyway.
Well, look, thank you very much for your time. We'll let you go walk the rest of the course. Thank you. Yeah, look, there's a lot of people here. As I say, they have different objectives. Just talking to David, he has some students here. He flies over and back, but you can see how much he appreciates the place here and the opportunity that presents. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Hannah, in the studio.
Thanks so much, Tom. Yeah, great to get that insight there into the course. And this is one of the early classes of the week, of course, for the 3-star competitors. That's kicking things off for us. But don't forget that 5-star is coming up for you later on. Well, I'm thrilled to be joined in our studio by another of the stars of the para-dressage competitors. It is, of course, Melissa Jansen from the Netherlands. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, talk to me about your experience here in Doha. You've been here a few times now.
Yes, I started competing 2023, 2024, and now I'm back with my new stallion. Let's go. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm really thankful.
Talk to us about how you find this arena, because it's quite a big atmosphere.
Yes, it's really amazing, and you get this feeling that you cannot believe. It's amazing, it's gorgeous, the crowds, everything here, the venue, the people. So I'm really happy to be here.
Now tell us a little bit more about this horse.
Yeah, he came with me and my family last year. We don't even have him for a year. He didn't even have big experiences. He did 3 little national shows. And I took him to the big shows with my other horses. And yeah, to do this show is, of course, the biggest ever. And I think he did great, because there's a lot of things going on, and the best training that you can get for this horse to get him to the World Championships, Los Angeles, or Big Gold. So let's go.
Absolutely, well-named horse. Well, we have a couple of images actually of your test from today. Okay. We're thrilled to see you in action. We'll take a couple of looks at Melissa's test from today. Of course, it was the Grand Prix for you, your first Grand Prix today. Mm-hmm. So talk to us a little bit about what we're seeing here.
Yes, I was happy how he came with me. He's a bit anxious about the big arena, the atmosphere. He's like a puppy. He loves other horses, and everybody says, oh, he's a big stallion. I love him that he's such a big machine, but he has a golden heart. So that's, I'm experiencing this with the eye on the season, with my dream to compete at World Championships. This is the biggest training I could get for him, and also for the welfare of the horse, because I want to do it with respect, passion, and peace. And this arena is so peaceful for me, but new for him. Yeah. So I want to bring him in and show him that there is a lot more. As you can see here, he heard another horse coming through the tunnel. Okay. So he was like, hey, where are you? And I said, it's all good. I just make a circle. I have my own goals. Totally respect for the judges, but he needs to make kilometers, you know, in this arena, and to see that everything is fine.
Yeah. So really giving him the opportunity to feel comfortable in there.
Yes, and I love doing this. And every meter that feels better, that makes me a better rider, a better owner, and also with the eyes on my dreams, that I feel that he's also living it and experience it in a positive, welfare way.
It's so fantastic to hear you talk there about, you know, that slow partnership, you know, making sure everything is just as it should be before you progress to the next levels, even though, of course, this is a big stage as well. Now, I have to say, when we're looking at those images, he looks absolutely stunning in the arena. Talk to me about the team that you have here with you as well.
Yes, so I have my partner, the children here, and my groom Femke. And that also, I must say, she never groomed him. So she did Royal Rubenstein, but she never did Let's Go. She did an amazing job with him. She fly in and she did him, and she never saw him even. So I'm so thankful for her, my family, my partners, but also the whole organization of Alshaqab for having us and living our dream and working to these big goals, because I think people must see that it's not so obvious that these horses make these meters and they just go. There's a long story behind, and I like to see this. Of course, I like also to be in the top 3 prize ceremonies, but there's more. And these are the moments that you never forget in life, and that the horses get the best teach with respect, passion, and peace.
Now, talk to us a little bit about your plans for tomorrow. Of course, you know, a little bit of a building day for you today, and maybe through the week.
Yeah, I said to my groom, just walk some nice meters here around, keep him chill, groom him, kiss him, cuddle him, give him good food. And tomorrow is a new day, new chances, and the day is gone. So let's go.
Well, we can't wait to see you on the other days as well.
Thank you so much.
Well, we are, of course, joined also once again in our studio by our analyst, Tom Frayne. Tom, you are a jumping man yourself, but it's quite inspiring to listen to Melissa talk about how she develops the horses, even in an arena like these.
It's fantastic. It's brilliant here with the CHI. We all get to compete in the same arena at the same show at the same time, and to get to know each other. So it's fantastic. We're all very busy running around the place, but to get to the same show and get to to talk to each other and appreciate what you guys do in particular is just inspirational. The relationship you have with your horses is awesome, really, and just the opportunity to stand inside or sit down and watch you guys compete it's a pleasure, and I have to say you do it so well.
Tom, anybody in particular then in this class coming up for you? It's an opening class, an early class for the 3-star.
Yeah, it's a lovely class. It's a 1.30 m, so it gives everybody an opportunity. The seasoned campaigners can bring their young horses out here. The local riders, as I just mentioned, inside, and the younger riders, it's their chance then to say maybe, stamp their authority and show their presence on the international scene. Kirstine van der Leen, she's last to go. She's been so competitive here on the tour for the last couple of weeks, so you have to give her the nod, particularly with pole position.
Fantastic. Well, she certainly is one to watch. She has been throughout the last 2 weeks, of course, hailing from the USA. Very international lineup of riders in the jumping and in the dressage as well. Well, we all can't wait to see tonight's competitions kick off. Of course, we are moments away from the start of this 3-star competition. With that in mind, I'll hand over to Killian Thornton on your live stream and John Stokes in the arena to take you through all the action.
Salam alaikum, good evening and a very warm welcome back to the Longines Arena at Alshaqab. We are on day 2 of the CHI Alshaqab of 2026. And if the energy yesterday was about anticipation, tonight is about pure velocity. Before we hear the first bell, I want to take a moment to extend warmest wishes to our local community here in Doha and those watching across the world. We are now in the early days of the holy month, so to our riders and to our fans, Ramadan Mubarak. It is a privilege to host this world-class event during such a significant time of reflection and community. To see the crescent moon over this iconic venue while the world's best athletes compete is truly a sight to behold. We wish you a month filled with peace, health and prosperity. Ramadan Kareem. We kick off our evening session with the CSI 3-star 1.30 m speeds class. This is a classic table A against the clock. Pure and simple, there is no second round. No jump off and absolutely no room for a steady clear. We have a massive field of 77 entries tonight. When you have that many combinations fighting for a prize fund of €4,000, the lead doesn't just change, it evaporates. Our course designer, as you can see, Ulano Vitasani, has set a time out of 78 seconds. It's 12 obstacles with 14 jumping efforts. The length of the course, 450 meters. At the height of 1.30 m, these horses are essentially sprinting. The height is manageable for this level of athlete, which means the winner won't be the one who jumps the highest, but the one who turns the tightest. Who out of the start list displayed on your screen now will be crowned the winner here tonight. Watch for some of these riders who can take the inside line. Every stride saved by any of these riders is a fraction of a second closer to the podium. With 77 to go, if a rider who goes into the lead at number 10, well, they will have a very long, nervous wait in the practice arena. Day 2 at Alshaqab always feels different. The horses have settled in to the stables. They've felt the Qatar sun and sand, and they've adjusted to the scale of this arena. This is only one of 5 CHI events in the world, and you can see why. The attention to detail here, from the footing to the hospitality, is the gold standard. Tonight, the temperature has dropped to a perfect 22 degrees. The air is crisp, the lights are bright, and for these horses, that means perfect weather. Later on, our feature class is the 155 jump off. That will be the heavy hitting qualifier for the Grand Prix. But first, the bell has sounded. We are ready to get underway. 77 riders, 1 clock, and a whole lot of ambition. Let's get the sport underway. Once again, Ramadan Mubarak. Let's get jumping. Well, the bell has sounded indeed for the first one, and that is Sienna Charles and Stardust for Great Britain, riding the 16-year-old mare by Chaco Blue out of a Conair Dam. This is Stardust, multi-medalist at European youth levels. She stepped up to the 5-star stage with incredible composure. She made her Nations Cup debut in 2023, helping Team GP secure a silver medal at Flastabo. We will have a look at the course when we go around the first 2 or 3 athletes. As we now go into the middle of the arena and into fence 6, 6 strides down to the next combination. That's the Oxer vertical out with 1 stride in between. This is the rollback left hand into fence 8 with 7 strides now down to fence number 9. And in the commentary box joining me is Tom Fred.
Hey Killian, good to be back. 1m30 class, it'll be interesting. A variety of horse rider combinations coming forward in this, so we're going to have to see what their objectives are. Obviously, Sienna Charles has a good bit of mileage. This 16-year-old, so you can see, pops around nice and quietly.
So it is 84.27, and Sienna Charles at Stardust picks up 7 faults.
Yeah, we can go through the track once we get into it here. A lot of related distances. Numbers are all there for the riders, so they can decide to stay in those nice even patterns, or else they can decide that they can leave out strides where it suits them, depending on their horses. Stardust, as you can see here, very scopy.
We move on to the second, and that's Peter Davis versus Rainbow Vant Zogavelt, a 9-year-old stallion, and rider that placed top 8 in our 5-star 150 jumping just last week.
Yeah, by Conor Dobolinski out of a Vagabond de la Pomme mare. Really light off the ground. You can see Peter with that lovely light contact as always, lets the horse float around the corner. He makes it look very simple. He sits so quiet, keeps him so balanced. Eight strides up to the Oxer. Up to the double, Oxer vertical, now the roll back. Slight bend on this line. 7 strides. 8 strides to the double of verticals. Now another roll back. You can see he's taking his time as well. This is opportunity to get this young stallion into this big arena. 8 strides home to the stile. And what a lovely picture. Horse lovely and soft, everything really easy and straightforward.
79.33 is over the time allowed of 78 seconds. So just the 2 time penalties there for Peter Davis and Rainbow Vant Zogavelt.
Yeah, just all nice and easy. Just you can see this horse just pops around for sport. Peter will know exactly how quick he's going, just stayed on the numbers everywhere. Again, you can see another rider who's put a knot in his reins. He's riding in again with a gag snaffle. Just doesn't want any extra rein flapping around the place, so just put a nice tidy knot on it.
Well, next and starting their round is Niels Bruin Seals. This is Credibles of Landhit to Liedenhof Z 12-year-old mare rides for Belgium.
White Crown Z of a Landetto mare. Starts off in a better rhythm. You can see just traveling across the ground, and lands, and he just moves around very smart. All the way around here to this blue vertical and up the related distance. You see, just slows the mare down a little bit. That's the Oxford in the middle, bending line left now. First of the combinations. And now another roll back. Not super fast, but just nice and neat every place. 7 strides up this distance. You can see there's a little bend on it, just moves the horse a little bit from right to left. Now bending line right on the 8 strides pattern, up to the double of verticals. Another roll back. Pops this oxer. Adds up, goes the 9 strides to the stile.
Well, that's the first clear here this evening. A clear for Niels Bruin Seals in 72.19 with Credibles Van Hit Liedenhof Z.
That won't be the winning round, I'm sure. There'll be people go a lot quicker than that, I would expect, before this evening is over.
Tom, maybe just mention for some of the viewers across the network, although it is a speed competition, there's a lot of value and worth by bringing some of these horses in for a steady round. Not necessarily a winning round, but for the experience.
100%, you know, these horses they're not born. A lot of people say they're made, and that's about the patience. There's only one shortcut in this business, I read somebody quoted recently, and that's patience. And you've got to give these horses an opportunity to come into these arenas and learn their trade, soak up the atmosphere, learn to concentrate, learn to listen to the rider, look for the fences, and not be looking into the stand.
Well, riding now is Kristen van der Veen, Bullrun's Mary. She's ranked 44th in the world. She's dominated here in Doha, rides for the USA.
Yeah, this is the first of her 2 rides in this class this evening. She's also last to go. So nice to get in and get a feel. Bullrun's Mary has been very athletic, lovely type. She's quick across the ground, and she's been successful here already in this arena. You can see the natural style of Kirsten. She's very forward, lets the horses flow, minimal interference, makes a little adjustment there. Probably could have left out a stride if she really wanted to. And again, she can see she just settles the horse, double of verticals. We've seen this lady, when she wants to be quick, she can take all the chances. Oh, she's turned back reasonably tight to that Oxer. Last fence coming up.
Well, that's a really good time. It's the fastest round we've seen today at 65.19. 4 faults for Kristen van der Veen. What happened there, Tom?
Just roll back. We're going to have to see the replay. I just think she turned up a little bit tight, and the mare just didn't react quick enough. You can see it just comes out on the right-hand side. Just turns back here. Look, watch. She just slow with her left front leg. Good with her right front leg, but the left one needs to be a little bit sharper.
Well, we still have plenty to go, and we will have an arena maintenance break at the halfway point of the competition. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the sport here, brought to you live from Doha. This is tailor-made Fia Contender. The 10-year-old mare is ridden by Swiss rider Nadia Petersteiner, ranked number 46 in the world.
Yeah, Nadia's been up in studio as the winning rider on a few occasions now. Getting quite comfortable. She knows her way up to Hannah. Has a real strong string of horses here. This is by Casalco, very interesting. Mare, 10-year-old. Lovely expression. And again, watch Nadia. She has that familiar style, lovely and light in the saddle. Keeps her hands really balanced. Minimal interference, maximum accuracy. This is quite neat now, not going too quick, but just doing the numbers and allowing this horse to really learn. Super in the double there. You can see this mare showing a lot of technique and a lot of scope. Neat through the corner, back to the vertical. 6, 7 strides. 8 strides. Now roll back here. 10 seconds to get home if she wants to trouble the leader. I don't think she's going to do that. Now is she going to go 8 or 9? 7, 8 strides home.
Really solid performance there at 76.61, and that's our second clear here this evening. Nadia Peter Steiner, Telemage via Qatari.
Really smart mare. Look at that for technique, scope, lightness off the ground. You can see this is an education job. Get this mare into this main arena, let her learn, get the experience. Love the way the mare has her ears pricked, looking for the next jump all the time.
Eve Jobs is starting her round with this 10-year-old stallion by Canaan. This is Canadillo for the USA.
Starts out very nicely, just picks up a nice rhythm. You can see this horse travels across, covers the ground very nicely. Snaffle bridle, plain noseband. Neat on the rollback. Eight strides up to the oxer. 7 strides to the double. Now another roll back to the left this time. There you can see lovely balance, real nice presentation, so accurate. Seven strides. 8 across here, just get the change. Little cross canter. Now again, comes a little bit wider here for this roll back to the second last fence. This is a 10-year-old stallion by Canaan. Really smart, you can see it's a lovely type. Last fence.
That is clear round number 3 now. Nicely done in the time 77.06, but just in under that time allowed, so we're clear for Eve Jobs and Canadillo.
Double of verticals here, lovely and straight. Keep the balance, lovely position, lands out really organized.
To Coleman S, this 12-year-old stallion next, and crossing that start line with a refusal at the first fence. Unfortunate there for Murray Gerdus, Germany.
Now here we come again, second presentation. And when we're off and running. Clock keeps ticking, unfortunately for her, so already on the 4 jumping penalties. Whoops. And now decides just to put her hand up. Something doesn't feel right.
So deciding to retire there is Murray Gerdus and Coleman S, Germany.
Yeah, something out of kilter. The rider's not very happy and makes a decision then. Now this is down to the first fence. You can just see he just starts to suck back off it. Maybe he wasn't sure what was going on. Came the second time and he popped it perfectly well on the second presentation. But rider knows her horse. She wasn't too happy, so discretion the better part of valor.
Well, we just have, we have 3 clears so far, and Neil Brunson leads at 72.19, but we will most certainly get a time quicker than that, as we still have 69 left to go. Ibrahim Khalid Al-Kuwari is ready to go, and the first for the home nation. This is Carte Blanche, a 16-year-old mare by Carthagan, out of a Balladura mare for the state of Qatar.
Starts off nice and relaxed. You can see this mare just shakes her head a little bit. Has that back rail on the second fence. That's a difficult enough jump. Sorry, third fence is a difficult enough jump coming away from the pocket. You really got to get up into the corner. Now, whoops. Turned up reasonably tight to that. I don't think the mare put her eye on the jump just as early as he would have liked. Now they're going to have to, the bell is gone. That basically means that they stop the clock so that they can rebuild the fence. This is where he has Jumps the second fence. This is on his way to the third. Watch the back rail here, just catches it with the hind legs. Now he's got the bell again, which means he can now continue. Oh, picks up his canter. Now he pops it. Comes up to the double now. In nice and neat. Now he's getting up onto a decent rhythm. So just keep coming through the corner here now, get nice and straight to the vertical. And now we've 2 related distances here. Comes the 8 strides. 9 strides. And now another roll back, so he just needs to go nice and wide here. He already has a number of faults, and time was also going to catch him. So he just wants to jump these last couple of fences. Finish on a good note. That's nicely done. Last fence coming up. Good recovery. He can build on that.
Well, there may be an adjustment of that time allowed, as it was restarted actually a little bit late. So it is 12 faults for the moment. 81.42 is the recorded time. Ibrahim Khalid Al-Kuwari, carte blanche. So a total of 12 for now.
This is into the double. Jumps that very well. And that's the second last fence.
We'll move on to Gabi Basu. She's finished the year off with a number of strong results in the 3-star tour out in Spain. Has been jumping here in Doha since January. Rides Cool Paradise S, this 13-year-old gelding for Italy.
Yeah, nice smart horse. Plenty experience. Comes up to 9 strides, 1 to 2. Just nail this turn back now. Keep your leg on through the corner. 4, 5, 6 strides up to the vertical. Back right-handed now. Taking her time, no hurry. Pops the vertical. Little bump on the way in. Now out nice, jumps the double, swings left-handed. Back to the 3-pole vertical here. Seven strides. Jumps very nice over the Longines oxer. Little encouragement to the double verticals. Sit tall on the roll back. Good oxer on the back of that. And now last fence coming up. Keep coming up on the 8 strides to the stile.
Well, that last fence goes, and she's also over the time allowed. So it's a total of 5, 4 for jumping, 1 for time. 78.18, Gabi Basu, Cool Paradise S, Italy.
This is the last fence. It has a little touch in front, but then just really catches it behind, unfortunately.
Maybe just walk us through that last fence. It's a shorter pose, Tom, as well. So all these different things that the course designer is using.
Yeah, a little gate at the bottom. It's a nice open 8 strides down there. So if you don't get up that distance nice and early, you could be just a little bit long and flat when you get there, particularly at the end of the line.
Well, this young man is former European Young Rider champion. He goes with that gold medal into transitioning into the senior levels here very well is Ollie Fletcher with Cassius for Great Britain.
12-year-old gelding by Kamal Fo out of Guidans Ruben. You can see rides through the corner, keeps the energy in the canter. Now this is the first of the rollbacks. He's taking his time here, he's going very wide. Obviously not looking for some prize money on this occasion. He's a 12-year-old. You can see he's just a little bit fresh in the arena. Oliver just having to put his leg on. Turns away from that fence, just coming through the corner, and horse has got a little bit tense underneath him. So you can just see he just circles away, gets the horse nice and connected again, and represents.
Well, Chab, this is the first time that we've had some of these 3-star horses in the Longines Arena of Alshaqab, so they're getting used to it, they're getting used to these bright lights, and also, as you can see, some of these riders making use of that, especially in preparation for the 3-star Grand Prix later in the week.
There's plenty of opportunities. That's the beauty of this tour. Plenty of opportunities to pick a class for your horse and work up, build towards it, get your horse into the ring, get them comfortable. As we say, you know, these horses have to be produced. It's not fair just to come in and expect that you can pull the trigger and produce a performance. You have to work towards it, you have to build. It's not just about the rider's confidence, it's also about the horse's confidence and their acceptance and their understanding. There's a lot to be done when you get into this arena. Our course builders are setting, you know, serious challenges. So it's only fair that you have your horse properly prepared.
102.33 with that stop, and total then of 29 faults for Ollie Fletcher and Cassius for Great Britain. We continue now to Bisha Kiali. Wilfredo is a 15-year-old gelding by Wilfred out of an Ultimo mare. Rides for Jordan.
Yeah, we need somebody to set this class alight now. I'm sure somebody's going to come in and really take on the course builder, take on the time, try and post a good time. There's plenty of riders in the start list who would love to get their name as a winner of a 3-star class here in Alshaqab. This is a 15-year-old by Wilfred. Covers the ground very nicely. Lovely expression, nice and neat over the jump, not wasting too much time. You can see the horse just skip there behind and change. Very neat and tidy. This young athlete has given his horse a very fair ride. You can see he's conscious, presenting the horse to the fence really accurately every time, making it as easy as possible. Good technique everywhere. And I'm sure as he progresses on his career, he'll get a little bit quicker, a bit more ambitious, and when the opportunity presents itself, he'll be building towards a victory in the near future, I'm sure.
Absolutely, clears that last fence just in under the time allowed, so 77.23 is good enough for 4th rank at this stage. A nice clear there from Bisha Kiali.
Yeah, I think that's what he set out to achieve, and well done, young man. You've done that nice and neat. Well presented, nicely ridden. Your horse and rider very, very comfortable. Not looking for too much, not asking any unfair questions at this stage. You can see nice loose ring snaffle, cross noseband, simple setup.
We proceed on to the first of the Brazilian riders now. This is Sergio Nipperman Jr. He rides Precio do Suto, this 9-year-old stallion by Econo.
It's a younger horse. When you think early in the year, he probably hasn't actually turned 9 yet on his passport, this horse. So, nice step up, great opportunity, as we say, get into this ring. Turns up reasonably tight to that vertical. So sends the horse forward to the double. Now again, neat on the roll back here, not going too wide, not going overly quick, but he's not wasting any ground either. 7 strides. Just makes an adjustment. This horse is quite a big stride, you can see. Pops into the double of verticals, has a good rub on the way out, but gets away with it. Oxer, 1 fence from home. Not going to trouble the leader, I don't think.
Over the line in 70.98, and that is in fact good enough to go into the lead. It's been a while since we've had a challenger for that top spot, so there goes Sergio Nipperman Jr.
Yeah, there's an example. I didn't think he was going that quick, but what he did do is he cut all the corners and he took the shortest possible route. Very clever riding. Didn't run his horse off his head, didn't go any quicker than he was able to, but knew the horse was brave. So puts him in the lead.
Well, if you have just joined us, this is the 3-star jumping here at the CHI of Alshaqab, presented by Longines. Next is the first Qatari rider to ever win a Longines Global Championship Tour Grand Prix. He rides Watnan Zodiac for the state of Qatar, Bassem Mohammed.
Yeah, he's an Olympian. He's World Championships. He's medals from the Asian Games. He's a very accomplished rider. He's an iconic rider in this part of the world. I'm sure he's inspired a generation of young Qatari riders. And he's very neat, very professional, does a super job. Putting together a really nice string of horses, and we see him now in that new blue jacket. It fits him well, I think. This horse not quite nice now. 11-year-old by Zorocco Blue. This is very neat and tidy. Horse is just travelling on nicely. As you can see, just makes a little alteration.
And with that, Watnan and the stables, they're set up now for the Qatari riders. Their aim is for the LA Olympics. I mean, they're really making big strides developing not only their riders, but also the horses that they have.
Yes, and it would appear from where we're sitting, they have a number of riders in the program, and they have a number of horses. It's not just, you know, a couple of riders and a couple of horses. They've actually invested extensively. We've seen a lot of nice 9-year-olds and 10-year-old horses here. I think that's a very clever way of going about it, because the transition phase between 3-star, 4-star, up to 5, and then championships, until you're there, it's hard to know if you're going to get there. You know, that step up for the 1.60 m into the championship, they're extraordinary athletes. But what they seem to have bought is some really nice horses in that age bracket, and now have a very strong program. And it looks like, you know, these horses are going to have every chance, along with a number of riders, to push on and go through and represent their country.
Well, really interesting as Bassem Mohammed clears in 73.75. That's good enough to rank 3rd. But we remain with the Qatari riders after discussing that. Is now Nasser Al-Ghazali and Nikita, this 8-year-old mare for the state of Qatar.
And one of our younger horses in the class this evening. Has the first fence down. Let's see. Nasser just travels up nicely on that distance, ignores the first fence, doesn't let it phase him. He has a job to do. And again, she's had the second fence down. I think this mare is just a little bit starstruck now in the main arena, but she looks a really nice type. Nasser is just doing his job, and that's the right way to approach this. Let his horse learn. You can't replicate this at home. There's no point in doing this when there's nobody here. Little stumble when she lands there. But now you can see this mare is starting to show her true potential. Very nice over the vertical on the way out of the double. Yeah, gives her a nice supporting ride. Whoa. That one looked all very good there. He just came around the corner, has his leg on. That's doing a really good job. This is the first fence. We're getting a little preview while they put back up that pole. That was the second fence. You can see the rider really had to put his leg on. This poor mare, young mare, is just a little bit starstruck, I think. Now hopefully he can represent. Yeah, here he comes around the corner. Gives her plenty leg. She's going to learn an awful lot from this evening. Now, unfortunately, he's going to get the bell and he's not going to be allowed to continue.
So 2 refusals here in show jumping means that the horse may not continue. So that's the end of Nasser Al-Ghazali's round with Nikita, as he is... actually, he's marked as retired there, Tom. So the judges have retired.
Yep, they've chosen that he decided to retire before. He actually, to be fair, he didn't stop. He just...
slowed up.
Yep.
Nice. We'll continue to Egypt's Ali Osama Al-Jagani with Le Rouge, this 10-year-old geldings by Easter Boy.
His jacket is very bright.
It nearly matches that fence. The red one.
We won't miss him in the arena. Yeah, it's he stands out from the crowd, to be fair. But he's taking on the challenge here. You can see he set off at a really good canter. He's nice and neat back on this turn back, so we're going to have to keep an eye on the clock. But so far, very smart, stays up on the numbers, gallops up to the double of vertical. So Oxer in, vertical out. Now this is where he can be smart and clever, get back here as quick as he can. This horse looks like it's good stride. 5-6, leaves the stride out. Unfortunately, didn't get to the back rail. He was winding it up as he went through the round. This is one of the first real challengers we've had who wants to post a fairly quick time. It's just come a little bit unraveled there. Now, cruises up the 8 at the last fence. Time will be good though.
69.03 is a good time, but with that knockdown, it's just the 4 faults. Ali Osama Abdelghani for Egypt.
I think that'll give some of the riders outside in the warm-up arena a bit of hope. You can see he didn't have to do anything wild. Went to leave out a stride, didn't quite execute. The horse just didn't put his eye on the back rail at the Longines Oxer and just had the back rail. The rest of it looked very neat and tidy. Set off with good purpose from the very beginning, and obviously was quick enough that fence is keeping him out of off the leaderboard.
To the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Khalid Al Haidi, and placed 7th in the 1-star one-run speed yesterday. Produced a wonderful clear there, but this time he rides this 11-year-old gelding, this Dormo Duflot Z, and ready to start. Tom, there's a real mix of 1-star, 3-star, 5-star. Why is that important for some of these riders here in Alshaqab to have the real mix of show jumping?
It's important for the sport. We need to give young riders and young horses the opportunity to experience the bright lights of the main arena, to come in and experience the challenges that world-class choral spinners like Uliana will set for them. I think it's a great opportunity for them to come in and compete alongside their heroes. Christian Allman here, and you know, Edwina Tops Alexander, Jana Frederick Myers, Hans Dieter Dreyer. You know, there's some of the world superstars are here. So for these young riders to be in the arena with these can only be a positive. Started off nicely, was up on a very good rhythm. Unfortunately, he has nicked the pole at fence number 4. And so you can see he's decided to slow up. Just going to do the numbers, adds up a stride here to the Oxer. Has a little bump on the front rail. And you can see he's not going to turn back too tight to this Oxer after the double of verticals, goes nice and wide. He'll have heard that fence down. 2 fences from home.
Well, that is over the time allowed. It's 87.58, which results in 14 in total for Khalid Al Haidi and Dormo Duflot Z.
Just a double bridle and a mask, fly fringe. Nice type of horse, you can see really good physically. And there's this Oxer, good at that. Just slowing him up, trying to keep the control. This is the last fence. Finishes up very well.
We return to the home nation riders and to Sultan Salam Al Nuaimi. This is Ganon de la Luz. That's a 10-year-old stallion that's by Canaan, and a rider that finished 2nd in yesterday's 3-star 2-phase competition for Qatar.
Ganon de la Luz, let's see what he's out. He was 2nd yesterday. You can see this horse is a big horse, big stride. Distances won't be a problem for him. Just come through the corner, just rides the horse through the corner, make sure the canter doesn't empty. That's a decent Oxer. Oh, 4th fence unfortunately is gone again. That's a fence we've seen on the ground a couple of times this evening. Well, that'll take the momentum and out of this round, I'm afraid. Looked like he was just starting to wind it up a little bit after he jumped that 3rd fence and a difficult turn back up at the pocket. Longines Oxer, again, the front rail is gone, puts him on the 8 penalties now. Double of verticals. Goes wide for the roll back to the Oxer, second last fence.
To the last fence will be over the time allowed. So is 8 for jumping, 2 for time. 79.02 is what the clock stops at for Sultan Salam Al Nuaimi, Qatar.
Jumps this very well. You can see a little bending line to the right. Just that off for the slightest of touches, just left that toe hanging. And that's the front rail at the Longines Oxer. Just push that out the cups.
Well, this really is just a prelude to what we have here tonight. The big feature class, well, that's the 5-star 155 jump off. Coverage will continue across the network, so do stick around. But we continue to Mohammed Al-Sakar and Stago CCZ for Saudi Arabia.
Mohammed has set off at a good pace now. This is one that's looking to put a mark on this class. Very good so far. Now, good and tight back here to the vertical. This is excellent. 9 strides up there. Whoa, slow down a little bit. Horse is very careful on the vertical, and you can see he's really up against the wing here and lets the horse travel through the corner. Slows up for the 7, good choice. And again, he's going to set up to the double of verticals. Now, quick as you can, back to the big, to the Oxer, second last fence. This looks very good. Here we go. Jumps that. Good presentation. Last fence coming up. We have a new leader, I'm guessing.
70.98 was the time to beat. It was so quick. 62.20. It is the first real speed challenge in this competition, but the last fence goes. It's incredible disappointment for the Saudi Arabian rider Mohammed Al-Sakar.
Yeah, it was excellent all the way through. His horse is lovely. You can see really gamey expression. The two of them knew exactly what they set out to do. Neat here, turns back really. This is the second last fence. Brilliant presentation. Now he set sail to the last here on the 8 strides. Oh, just the tiniest little step coming off the ground, and he's just a centimetre low with the front legs. Great effort.
Well, that can be just how cruel this sport can be, but that's also what makes it exciting. As we go to Suhaimi Hamad Al-Yafe, and he rides Gamin Ray for Qatar.
Whoa, huge jump over that third fence. Unfortunately, the first one is gone, so that's taken the wind out of his sails a little bit. Looked like he was heading out to ride a winning round. Now just keep it all nice and level. Use the opportunity just to regroup. An elevator bit on this horse in real blood.
With Gamin Ray.
Huge jump over this third fence away from the pocket. Horse really spring heel, just goes high and goes wide. Fortunately, the partnership weren't able to leave all the fences in the cups.
Well, under the bright lights, as you can see here, of Alshaqab, the next one approaches the start, and this time for the Kingdom of Bahrain, it's Hussein Mohammed Dad Allah with Elite.
9 strides, 1 to 2. Nice and neat through the corner. Good jump at 3. 6 strides up to the vertical. Now you can see he drops the shoulder. Nice and neat back here. Now he's got his eye on this top rail. Good and tight there. 7 strides. 5, 6 up to the double. This is very neat. Quite organized. Horse is really compliant. You can see lovely relationship between horse and rider, working together in harmony. This looks like it could be actually quite quick. Now if he's neat on this turn back to the Oxer again, you can see the rider very smart. As soon as he lands, he puts his leg on, lets his horse go forward. Now last fence coming up. Could be a contender. Jump this. Let's see what happens.
There's a real determination in his face, and 68.65 is our new leading time for the Kingdom of Bahrain's Hussein Mohammed Dad Allah with Elite.
Yeah, solid effort all the way through. Very neat down the first line. Didn't do anything silly on the numbers. Didn't try and leave out any strides anywhere. But I have to say, really love the connection between horse and rider. Very smooth everywhere. Another one of those real connected horse-rider combinations. They look like they knew exactly what they were doing. Trots out really lovely big loose trot on them.
That's the standard set then, with the next having to follow that is Kuwaiti rider Mana Al-Ajmi with Kalata du Chambly Z.
First fence down, unfortunately. Going to make it a long evening. Very good air, and the ox are away from the pocket. Now, you need to keep your concentration, stay on the job. Use the opportunity to get in, practice what you've been training for. Teach your horse. Practice yourself. Might be disappointed with the fence down, but the opportunity is there now to go and rehearse. A little bit of match practice. Good technique here. Look through the corner, keep the rhythm on the canter, get nice and straight. You can see doing everything to keep his hands nice and still, keep that connection, keep the contact nice and even. If you watch this horse, actually, you can see he moves his jaw quite a bit from left to right. Whoops, a little bit deep going in. Didn't get away with it. Man, just sitting really quiet, working really hard to give his horse every opportunity. Comes to the last fence.
Total of it then in 71.27 for the rider from Kuwait, Mana Al-Ajmi and Kalata du Chambly Z.
That's the first fence, unfortunately. There you can see the horse going down to the fence. You can see how he's moving his jaw all the time. Good coming out in the vertical.
Well, remaining with the riders from the local region, or from at least the GCC. We go to the Saudi Arabian rider, and this is Abdullah Abdul Aziz Al Sheikh and Kibal W.
Yeah, it looks like he's setting up here to have a let this horse travel and gallop and run. Good to the second fence, and you can see he's very quick away. Yeah, has to work hard on the corner, keep the power, gets that difficult lock throw out of the way, and now he starts to wind it up even more. Now here's the turn back. Rider has his eye on the fence. Gone a little bit wider here. Giving this a lot of respect. 6, 7 strides. 6 strides. Double now again. Watch the rider. He's going to look for that top rail. Push through the corner. Keeps pushing. Keeps pushing. Has the distance he wants. 7 strides again. Puts a little bow on that line into the double of verticals. In on the right hand side. Very neat. And he's winding it up here now, looking for this turn back to this oxer. He has the distance he wants. Oh, the back rail was a little bit further away. Gallops to the last.
Well, it's 8 falls then, 62.92. That is the fastest round, one of the fastest rounds that we've seen so far. But unfortunately, the accuracy there at the last 2 fences, it's 2 down for Abdullah Abdul Aziz Al Sheikh.
There we can see. Body language tells it all. He knew he was under a little bit of pressure. A bit frustrated. He gallops down to the last. You can see he's pulled a shoe as well. It's gone flying off there in the air.
Well, a great effort, but the precision needs to be there right from the start, right till the last jump is crossed, Tom.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was very neat and tidy at the beginning, and then just that last turn back just got a little bit away from him. Amazing. 2 fences from home. He was looking very good.
With the Saudi riders still, this is Salam Balharith and Aslan, the 15-year-old gelding next.
Stays on the 9 strides, 1 to 2. Keeps the energy through the corner. This class is starting to liven up a little bit. More and more coming in now, making an effort to be competitive. Oh, you can see rider was trying to turn in the air. Just the signals got a little bit mixed up. Oops. Jumps the Oxer, now heads up to the double. Oxer vertical. Good on the Oxer, and the horse backs up very well for the vertical. Now he knows he's at a fence down, so he can go that little bit wider here. Now he's got to bend this line, he's got to straighten it up. And again, bending line right, get nice and straight into the double of verticals, pops in very sweet, out nicely. Knows he's not going to be a contender, so just keeps the rhythm through the corner, keeps now coming to the last fence.
Over that last fence in 72.38, just the one disappointing knockdown there. Great effort by the Saudi Arabian rider Saleh Balalat and Aslan.
Yeah, this is the third fence up in the corner. He jumps this really well. I think if we watch here, we're just going to see the rider Saleh. He just tries to turn. Look, there he goes. Just shifts his weight a little bit to the right, trying to set up that turn. Aslan, unfortunately, just misinterpreted the signals.
We move from the GCC. The last number of riders were all from the local region, but we now move all the way to Australia. And welcome Georgina Harvey-Lazarus in this 15-year-old mare is Butterfly NML.
Young athlete gets an opportunity now to compete on the big stage here. Another horse with a mask on him and a red ribbon in his brow band. Quite a long shanked elevator bit, single rein set up. Horse looks very athletic in the jump and settles into it nicely now. Georgina now on a nice rhythm, not hanging around, nice and neat on her turn back here. Good presentation. He waits on the 7 strides. This horse has a huge stride, I think. Now let's see what she's going to do here now. I think she should be brave enough. Horse looks scopy and careful. Jump this. Now just travel the 8 strides home and see where that's going to put you. This looks like it could be a contender.
It is a contender as we have a new leader, 65.34. She looks across her shoulder to check the screen and to confirm she is our new leader, Georgina Harvey-Lazarus, Butterfly NML.
Yeah, this is a great round from a young athlete. Very neat and tidy all the way. Rode to the plan. Didn't do anything silly. Was just nice and tidy. You can see minimal amount of interference. This horse is very active in the canter and very active in the jump. And to be fair to Georgina, she sat lovely and quiet, knew exactly what she wanted to do, and she's executed wonderfully.
That's the leaderboard at the moment. Georgina Harvey-Lazarus is now our leader. That pushes Hussein Mohammed Daraland into second, with Sergio Nupperman Jr. into third. We proceed to the Iraqi rider Omar Al-Wasiti Hussein, non-stop SRL Zect.
Yeah, he's come up 8 strides, 1 to 2. Neat back to 3. Let's see what he wants to do now. Is he going to wind it up as we go along? Tries to turn a little bit in the air. You got to keep pushing through the corner. This actually fences, 5th fence, is quite a way across the arena. It's not just that simple a roll back. You've actually got to travel to get to it. Up to 6. Now gallops up to 7. High over the Oxer, high over the vertical. And again, Omar just having to keep the energy in the canter. You can see the rider has to keep riding through the corners. 7 strides. Now again. Yeah, he's neat back here to this Oxer. He's taking a bit of a chance here. Don't think he's quick enough to trouble our leader. Smart performance, just popped the last fence.
Clears that, and 70 seconds exactly is good enough to rank third for the rider representing Iraq, Omar Al-Wasiti Hussein.
Here's a double. Past the A part, coming to B part. The horse, look how high he went over those two parts. Really smart performance. And very good on the second last fence. Nice smile, he's a happy man.
Yeah, lovely to see when they're leaving the arena happy. But only one can be crowned the winner here this evening. Will it be one of our European riders as we head back to the European continent? It's Switzerland with Geraldine Stramond riding Castelor.
Cruises up the 8 strides. Castelor is a 14-year-old mare by Casal. Real blood type, you can see. Light on the ground. Now, turns in the air. Just needs to keep coming through the corner. Just gone a little bit backwards there to be a podium finisher, I think. Goes high, very good again. Again, you can just see some of our quicker riders just land and move away that little bit sharper off the back of the jump. Geraldine is just keeping everything nice and connected, keeping it really balanced. Good on the numbers, good on the distances. And you can see she's just taking a little bit more of a cautious approach back here to the second last fence, gone that little bit wider, ensuring a good presentation to the jump.
72.43 then, with a good clear there. Nicely done by Geraldine Stramond and Castelor, Switzerland. Well, that ranks into 6th place then with that performance, and that provides us with our 10th clear.
Yeah, very neat and tidy all the way through. Just didn't take the handbrake off. You can see the mare goes high in the jumps. Just enjoying getting into the main arena here. So we're not sure where these horses are on their fitness programs, how many classes they've had. So maybe tonight's not the night to take the handbrake off.
Proceeding on to Egypt's Mustafa El Hussein Asa. He rides Clint Z, a 9-year-old stallion. Owns and rides this as the 27th partnership to step forward in the Longines arena of Alshaqab.
Clint Z, obviously the Zangrazide prefix attached to this horse's name. The 9-year-old stallion. Turns back nice and neat to the third fence. One pushes out the front rail, unfortunately. Jumps this on the angle. Moves up to the double. You can see the rider is sticking to his plan. Horse covers the ground very easily. Oh, just a little bit loose coming down there. You can see those two front legs were not even jumping in that double of verticals. Hawks are here.
Eight false, 76.90 there for Mustafa El Hussein Asa, Egypt, Clint Z.
You can just see that's a turn back to the third fence up in the top corner. This is a double of verticals. Horse just twisted a little bit in front on the way off the ground. Caught that rail on the way up.
Well, not forgetting that we have a arena maintenance break at the halfway point of our competition. That will be after combination number 39 jumps, when we move to a partnership representing the state of Qatar for the home nation here. Ibrahim Yusuf Al Mahmoud with Quattro Van Texelov with the first fence down.
Ten-year-old gelding. by Croydon Van T.I. This horse is owned by Alshaqab, a member of the Qatar Federation, part of that program. Setting up. And adds another fence down on that vertical. Now gets his timing a little bit better. Canters down to the Longines Oxer. Puts his hand up, he's decided he's had enough.
Yeah, so by raising his hand to the ground jury, that means that he is going to retire, and that just means that he's going to save Quattro Het Texelov for another tie.
Yeah, he's had a couple of fences down. Horse just got his timing a little bit wrong with his front feet. You can just see there he needed to back up and just use his shoulder a little bit more.
Nice little pat there as he goes out. Really nicely turned out horse here. That's actually an 8-year-old gelding that's by Untouchable. Riding this for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is Abdulrahman Al Mutawa with Unfades Z.
Gelding. Out of an Andy Ammo mare. Glengrazide bred. Young horse with a bright future, I'm sure. Very nice way of going. You can see covers the ground, has an excellent canter. Light on his feet. Ears pricked when he sees the jump. Nice and quiet in his head. Good in the mouth. Oops. Yeah, just backed up there. Horse obviously very athletic, which is what you need. Neat through the corner. A nice 8-year-old, a young horse in this arena. You can see he's coping with it really, really well. The rider's giving a very neat double rein setup with a gag snaffle. Last fence coming up. Nice smart round, not too quick, but jumps this. He'll be very happy with that.
72.89 is good enough to secure a 7th place at this stage. And that's with Unfade Abdulrahman Al Mutawa.
Yeah, I think there's an example of a nice up-and-coming horse. It's just availed of the opportunity to get in here into this fabulous, magnificent stadium here. In the main arena, you can see the horse really backed up there. You can actually see him just digging in with his hind legs. And then super technique coming out. It's a great opportunity to get this young horse into the ring here. He's going to come on a lot from that. And that'll set him up for the season. And he can start to progress up through the ranks, jump a few bigger tracks, but to get in for a nice 1.30 m is well within their capability and scope. They're not being tested.
Kingdom of Bahrain was leading for a little time here. Let's see if they can get back on top. It's Hamad, Majid, Hussein, Fakrawi. It's Kamikaze, Van Hitte, Hofzet.
Yeah, he comes up the 8 strides with Kamikaze. Just winding it up now. Let's see what he does. Nice and neat to the vertical. Jumps a little bit from left to right. Now just keep push through the corner here. Don't hang around. This is just a vertical. Up to the Oxer. Now set sail to the double. Oxer in. Now come right-handed here. You can come as tight as you can to that upright. Keep pushing through the corner, stay tall, get your horse balanced. Nice vertical. Oh, he just twisted a little bit in the air, and that's taken the fence down. And now he's added a second one to it. Double of verticals. Now I'm sure he's going to go a bit wider now to this second last fence, this Oxer. Heading back up the arena. Nice type of horse. Lovely length of rein.
Will end on 8 faults and 72.72. Takes it quick look at the big screen to confirm his result there. It's Hamad, Majid, Hussein, Fakrawi, and Kamikaze, Van Hit, Bruntenhof, Z. For the Kingdom of Bahrain there, as you can see.
Yeah, just caught that behind his hind legs. Wasn't able to finish his jump quick enough. Needs probably a bit more space in front of the fence. He's a big horse.
To the 31st partnership that enters and will attempt this 131 round speed. This Faisal Fahad Alora with very good trip. CDLZ, this 8-year-old gelding for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, by Vigo. Nice technique over the second fence. Just a little bit disunited on the corner. Whoops. Yeah, you can just see here when he landed over the second fence, just got disunited in the canter coming round the corner. Very difficult to jump. You can even see it there, look. Once that canter has lost the energy and momentum and power, it's very difficult for the horse to take off. Rider did well to stay in the saddle. Just going to let the course builders rebuild it now. So the bell will have gone.
Talk to us what a little bit of the preparation that goes in the practice arena here, Tom. There's so much movement we can see and sometimes we can hear in the microphones. It's a very, very busy place. What is happening out there?
Yeah, different riders will have slightly different programs or setups. What they'll do is they'll bring their horses in. Our warm-up arenas at the back of the arena. It's just behind where they come in. Lovely size. It's a sort of an indoor. It's actually at the back of this massive big stadium. They'll warm their horses up physically, just get a little bit of walk trot, then a bit of canter and build it up, get their heart rate up. Once they have them warmed up then and they think they're supple enough and they're exercised enough, then they'll start their jumping. Start over a small vertical usually, and then they'll jump maybe 7 or 8 verticals before they'll go on then to an oxer. Then they'll jump, depending on the individual horse, they'll jump 6 or 7 oxers. Normally finish up about the height of the first fence, maybe go back then and jump a vertical before they come into the ring. Just comes down here, unfortunately the horse saw something he wasn't happy about. Our rider did very well to stay in the saddle. I thought gravity and momentum were going to take over there for a minute, but well sat.
Yeah, the 2 refusals means it is elimination here tonight for Faisal Fahad Alora with very good trip CDLZ.
We're quite lucky here in the warm-up arena. They actually have a big screen and they also have a board so they can see exactly who's in the ring, who's next to go. So it's very helpful for the horse, for the riders and their trainers. They know exactly where they are. They don't have to, you know, be looking at the start list, figuring out 5 to go, 4 to go. They never worked out. They probably start jumping maybe 6, 8 horses before they're going into the ring. And I'd say the older horses might need a little bit less, the younger horses might need a little bit more.
Next to Italy's Mohamed Anas Al-Jeja. This is car driver, born in 8-year-old stallion, Italy.
Yeah, gives a little bit of encouragement there in the second fence. Now turns back around the corner. Good oxer here. Now he's up and running. Something catching the horse's eye here now. He wasn't happy on that line coming away from the corner. So he circles, the clock will still be running here. Now he's going to represent to this fence. Now we're up and running again. So unfortunately now he's had 1 refusal. He needs to stay going anymore and he'll be eliminated. Bit of a turn back here now, so he's going to be nice and careful, give himself, but not happening this evening. You can see he just gives his horse a pat. Again, a lot of these horses early in the season coming in here is really bright, much darker out in the warm-up arena, particularly on their way up from the chute, from the warm-up. And I think some of the horses, when they look into this ring, can maybe get a little bit overawed and a bit starstruck.
Well, it is with the 2 refusals again, this time meaning elimination for the Italian flag bearer, Mohamed Anas Al-Jeja, with car driver or.
Not happening this evening for this 8-year-old.
Well, we are approaching the halfway point here, and we return to the home nation. This is Qatar's Saad Ahmed Al Saad with Gary Deshezi, the 10-year-old gelding, next, with a time to be set by the Australian rider Georgina Harvey-Lazarus of 65.34.
Yeah, the class just lost a little bit of momentum there. Been going really well there for a while, getting very, very competitive. They were coming in, taking each other on. Let's see now if Saad Ahmed can get us back going again. He's just looking there to see what the countdown clock is saying. Right, here we go. He's going to take a circle, and then he'll proceed down to the first fence. Down here in the bottom corner, furthest away from the pocket. Nice vertical. Nine strides, 1 to 2. Back left-handed away from the gate. Six strides then to the vertical. Now just keep pushing through the corner. Go on, stay going. Keep coming around. A good presentation, leg on. Now Oxer, 5 to 6. Comes up on a 7 strides. Now 6 strides up to the double. Oxer in. Now keep going, round the corner, all the way. It's a 5, 6, 7 strides. Unfortunately, the front rail is gone. 8 strides into the double verticals. And the roll back to the Oxer. He'll know that he's had a fence down. Last fence coming up.
One knockdown, and then the clock is 72.28. So it will be a total of 4 for Saad Ahmed Al Saad and Gary Deshezi for the state of Qatar.
Yeah, it was very neat and tidy all the way through. That was coming across to fence number 9.
Well, just look at that magnificent backdrop. This amphitheater of not just show jumping, but of equestrian sport. An absolute pleasure to be jumping here under the bright lights of the Longines Arena of Alshaqab as Jean-Francois Rondeau proceeds with Flower du Rouet, this 11-year-old gelding, pour France for France.
Yeah, by President of Adolphe Dumour, Celle Francais bred. Front rail is gone on the 3rd fence. Started out very neat and tidy. It's an 11-year-old, really nice type. Settles into a very nice rhythm now. Jean-Francois now will just want to utilize the opportunity now to get this horse into the ring, get it as comfortable as you can. He knows his chance of a ribbon are gone. So he's looking for a performance now. Front rail on the Longines Oxer also on the ground. Double of verticals. Again, just working on the technique. Rider looking through the corner, keeping everything nice and balanced. Good on the Oxer. Last fence coming up. But 2 fences on the ground.
Yeah, just that he's got into that last fence, and 75.36 is the time with 2 on the ground. It's a fall for Jean-Francois Rondeau and Flower du Rouet with that gelding for France.
Here we go. And turn back to fence 3. Claims another victim.
Well, we only have the 5 remaining, 5 until the halfway point of this competition. Just the 11 clears. Slightly surprising. Tom, I would have expected a few more out of the first 35 or so.
It's quite careful, it's quite delicate. It's a nice testing track, nothing trappy in it, but just requires accuracy all the way through.
Well, in fact, that is a clearance rate of about 32%. So, in fact, we are In around the money there on the clearance rate, or what can be expected from the course building, while Nasu, Kiali and Camacho PS have knocked the first fence for Jordan.
11-year-old by Emer out of a Numeroon mare. Now jumping very well. Unfortunately, fence late for that to be competitive this evening. Nasu has been busy here on the Doha tour. We've seen him riding a lot of horses and knocking on the door. Rancho PS, a very nice type. You can see covers the ground really easy, and now that he's into the swing of things, has a really nice jump, good technique. Carries himself very nicely. You can see just length of rein, the way the horse is, his natural balance. Light through the corner. Definitely a horse for the future. We'll keep an eye on this one. I won't be surprised if we see him on a podium very soon. A very smart horse.
The knockdown early on is disappointing for Nasu Kiali, but remain composed on a good round with Camacho PS. Just the 4 in 72.79. Jordan.
Yeah, nice horse. Nice and neat, just a little bit loose down to that fence. You can see just wasn't sharp with his two front legs. And we'll watch him then now once he gets into the swing of it. Technique is so much better. Here you can see really good there and opens the back end. Looks like a horse being very useful in these speed classes. Maybe better.
So to the state of Qatar's High Abdulaziz Al Raban and Katano and a 14-year-old gelding. This is by Katogi.
Yeah, nice. Oh, just comes down there and has that front rail on the second fence. Now push it through the corner, well ridden. Has that rail as well, but I think you just need to get into the rhythm of this track now. So she's going to come a little bit wider to this rollback. I think we're going to see her hand come up now. Not happening this evening for this combination.
Yeah, she's going to go, and I thought she was going to jump fence number 1 there. She came around that corner, but no. And there we go. She raises her hand, indicating she is going to retire Katano, and that's for Qatar's Heya Abdulaziz Al Raban. Sometimes you need to do that, Tom.
Yeah, just not to beat this evening. You can see the horse just had a fence down early and then just lost his confidence. Wasn't sure. His timing basically just comes out of kilter. The horse just gets a little bit confused about what way to handle the jump. Nothing really the rider could do then at that stage, so discretion. Just put your hand up, go back out, do a little bit of training, get everything back on an even keel. You can do a little grade, get the horse's confidence, and then you come back again.
Absolutely, as we go to Tess Carmichael, riding Crowley NW's 11-year-old stallion for Great Britain.
Nice on the first distance. You can see Tess just keeping his horse nice and connected. Good presentation through the corner to that difficult fence. And now she can start to get a little bit ambitious if she so chooses. It drops in here nice and tidy. Now just keep riding through the corner. Horse beautifully turned out. Absolutely immaculate. Oh, just horse just didn't back off that top rail. Again, these horses, I'm not sure if they've been in this arena. They definitely haven't been here on this tour. This is their first opportunity to come in here and jump a 130 under lights in the main arena. So you can see a few of them just a little bit more pensive, a little bit tenser than they might normally be. Tess stays on the rhythm, keeps her horse nice and balanced. You can see good position, lower leg nice and secure all the way through. Push through the corner, gets nice and straight. Now just canters down to the last fence. Gets her leg on. You can see the horse just spooked a little bit.
75.18 and just the 4 then. The 1 knockdown for Tess Carmichael and Carney NW. So for Great Britain.
Just you can see, didn't get the front end out of the way sufficiently. Good through the double of verticals.
€4,000 for prize fund tier, so 1,000 of that will go to our winner. Will it be for Qatar's Abdullah Mohammed Al-Sak, and Kurt Lele goes next with the 12-year-old Galley.
By Noel out of Guidam de Ravel mare, 12-year-old. He's gone a bit wider here than our leading contenders did, but jumps the fence and now just sets sail a little bit, gets up on the rhythm, 6 strides out to the double of Oxer in, vertical out, and now just you can see lets the horse travel through the corner, puts his eye on the next fence, up on the 7. That front rail on that Oxer is gone. Turning back to the second last fence. Last fence coming up.
Clears that, but with the 4 faults on the course, it is just the 4 and 73.93. That's for Abdullah Mohammed Al-Sak and Kurt Lele for the state of Qatar.
Very good there on the double. You can see rider just sits back, just keeping the horse off that front rail, but needed a little bit more.
Well, we go to a rider that was 6th in the 5-star 2-phase competition yesterday. This time he goes with a 10-year-old stallion. It's La Blue, and riding this is Egypt's Ismail Osama El Bore. Last to go before the break.
Nice and relaxed up the first line, pops the second fence. Now you can see the horse just shakes his head a little bit, but he looks very keen. Lovely, intelligent type. Now we can settle into it. Jumps this a little bit left to right and lets the horse travel through the corner. You can see he's going nice and wide. He's taking his time. You're going to use this, produce this horse. It's a 10-year-old stallion, very good on the Oxer there. You can see gave that lovely technique, and again in the double of verticals. Ismail has obviously got a job to do with this guy, try and produce him up the levels. Not going to try and win this class at this stage of his career. Give him every opportunity to progress and maybe grow up and be a Grand Prix horse in the future. La Blue, we'll keep an eye on his name. He's a very nice type, lovely athletic sort, lovely intelligent horse. Last fence coming up.
Time allowed is 78 seconds. He's just over that, so 78.86 will be the 1-time penalty for Ismail Osama El Bore. Egypt, La Blue. Well, that is the last to go before we take an arena maintenance break at this halfway point, but still plenty of action to come as you see the slow motion shots there of the replay of the final one from the first half of the competition as he clears that Oxer there. And then over that last fence, a nice little pop over. There's already a turn of the head as he leaves the arena. Well, that's Alshaqab. That's the bright lights shining down here of the Longines arena. And that is your current leaderboard. A super performance by Georgina Harvey-Lazarus in 65.34 to put her on the top spot. The Kingdom of Bahrain's Hussein Mohammed Abdullah is second. Third, Omar was fourth. Sergio. Further down the line, fifth is Niels Brunzien, sixth Geraldine Stroman. And then we continue down with the 11 clear rounds. That is how it looks so far, but we still have so much more to come, including studio analysis.
Well, we are, of course, at the halfway stage in the opening competition of day 2 of CHI Alshaqab, presented by Longines. Of course, this is the 3-star competition, and we do have a few very good names in the ranks of those at the moment. A good few clears, 12 of them, in fact, and Georgina Harvey-Lazarus is leading the way. Let's turn our attention, though, to the 5-star competitions again. We're lucky enough to be joined in our studio by Megan Moissonnier. Megan, thank you so much for joining us. Talk to us about your day today.
Hello, I'm happy to be here too. My day today is going very well. I just ride my horses on the flat work this afternoon. I already compete in the 5-star class in the indoor arena. Which I finished 6th with my mare Shakarija. So for the moment, this is a very good day, and I'm looking for the big class tonight with Kroner.
So talk to us a bit more about this big class then, because it looks like it's going to be a very competitive one. Why this horse?
I choose Shakarija because she's a quick horse. She's now very competitive in 145. She just started 150 classes. So I decided to put her in the 5-star this week so she can jump a little higher. And this class was very quick. The riders go faster and faster. It was a table C, so they just go as fast as possible. The first rider was all clear, so we didn't have the choice to go clear too. So the horse just jumped amazing as she used to, and she's going clear every class she jumped in. So I'm very happy and proud of her.
Fantastic, sounds like a great one. Let's look then at the overall tour, because you're sitting 3rd in the standings for the Doha Equestrian Tour. It must have taken a lot of consistency to get there. Talk to me about that.
Yes, I'm very surprised, honestly, to be 3rd in the rankings. We had such a big walking before coming here. We trained so much. The horses were very in a good shape, and we gave all we had during all the tour to achieve such a result. I hope it's going to be great again for the next Grand Prix, so I can do better points and stay in the podium.
Fantastic. We can't wait to see you the rest of the week. So you've been here for a few weeks. How are you finding Doha?
Doha is just amazing. Honestly, I never went here before. I only watch at the TV. The site is just gorgeous. The arena is so big, the lights are amazing. It looks like a stadium, football stadium. There is such many arenas to work on with the horses. They don't feel boring here. It's amazing to jump in this arena. It's like a dream.
Well, fantastic. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Looking ahead then to the upcoming 5-star class, quickly tell us a little bit about the horse you have later on tonight.
The horse I will ride tonight is Kroner Time. So this is my Grand Prix horse. I'm looking for a good result tonight. I think he will be fresh. Only jump few jumps in yesterday 140, so he's fresh for today. Now Kruner has many experience in this high, so I'm looking for a clean round and maybe a podium.
Wonderful.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see you later on. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, we turn our attention back to the class at hand. Of course, we're at the halfway stage in this three-star competition, three-star speed. So I'll hand back over to Killian Thornton on our live stream and John Stokes in the ring to take you through it all.
Thanks, Hannah. Welcome back to the second half of our competition here. That's the remaining start order you'll see across your screen. We have plenty still to come, including the likes of Abdullah Al-Shabatali, the recipient of His Highness the Emir's sword last week. Even the likes of Nadia Peter-Steiner, she's already jumped in this arena, has the advantage of going with another. Even the likes of Basim Muhammad for the home crowds here for the state of Qatar. But even last to go, well, that will be Christian van der Veen. Could it be her that wins it? As you can see, she will finish us off here tonight. The leader is Georgina Harvey-Lazarus in the time of 65.34. That's our time to beat if you are just joining us. Ramadan Kareem, salam alaikum, and welcome to the Longines Arena of Alshaqab with Philip Weishaupt getting us back underway, ranked 82 in the Longines World Rankings. He rides a 9-year-old gelding by Congress. This is Kaleo L, and rides for Germany. Goes in now to the middle of the arena. The related distance pushes into the combination with the rollback left hand into the Doha Equestrian Tour fence. 7 strides down to the Longines Oxer. We're entering into the final stages of this course. Could we have a challenge to the leading time? No, but could it be good enough for a top 6 performance? Well, let's see, as we only have the one to go from home. It remains clear, and the clock is 72.85, a clear round. But Philip Weishaupt is just outside the top 6. In fact, it's into rank 7th, with Kaleo Al for Germany. Well, he'll be really pleased with that. He came in with good determination, good focus, really intelligent 9-year-old grey gelding there. Interesting to see how that progresses throughout the week, including the 3-star Grand Prix that's coming up on Saturday. So a good restart, as that gives us our 12th clear. But we move on to Frederica Stack. This is a lady that also has 2 in this competition, but also in the second half. She rides Zakon VA with a knockdown of the second fence there. This is a 7-year-old stallion by Dominator Z. Bit of a Cassini Z dam. And rides for Germany. Good to have back with me in the commentary box our analyst for the week, Tom Frayne.
It's only a 7-year-old by Eurocommerce Berlin. No, sorry, by Dominator out of a Cassini. Really big scopy type. You see very light off the ground. A great opportunity to get a 7-year-old into this stadium under his bright lights and his fabulous jumps. You can see now he's taking it all in his stride. Look at the hinge behind, the way he's able to use his back end. Very impressive. And lovely way of going, lovely and light on his feet. Look at this hind, that action behind, really powerful horse.
Well, 4 false stand for Frederica Stack and Diakon VA for Germany. Just picking up the 4 false stand.
Really smart horse, really one for the future when you think he's only a 7-year-old. Probably only 6.5 really. But a lovely physical presence. Very light on his feet, and you can see as he went through that round, he really started to grow in confidence. Frederica will be delighted with that, I'm sure.
Well, we continue now as we progress through this competition. A total of 12 clears as Kuwaiti rider next riding. This is Mohammed Khaled Al-Mulifi and riding Paris Avantahika.
Yeah, 11-year-old mare. Gets the first 3 fences out of the way. Now you can see, young rider. Good technique, nice balance. Looking for a nice presentable clear round here. Not going too quick with his mare. Lovely expression. You can see she's taking it all in her stride. Looking for the jump. Good in her body. And nice and compliant. You can see she's working well with her rider. Listen to the instructions she's been given. And then she gets on with it. Covers the ground very nicely. Nice and light on her feet. Comes back here now. Just a decent oxer. You can see keeps the hind end engaged. Last fence coming up. I think it's a very smart round from a young rider.
Yeah, great clear and a great cheer erupts here with 67-61, good enough to secure 2nd place at this halfway point for Mohammed Khaled Al-Mulifi.
Yeah, very smart. You can see this is a really intelligent mare. Well done to this young rider. Kept it nice and simple, just presented her to every fence, didn't waste any ground. She's lovely across the ground. You can see she's a real intelligent type. He'll be delighted with that.
That's how it stands so far, 65-34, proving difficult to beat. But will it be the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's rider that knocks the Australian off that top spot? Well, Meshal Al-Qathani rides a 9-year-old gelding. That's Menke for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
You can see this horse has a fly fringe on him, but he also has a fly mesh around his nose. He's obviously very sensitive. Some horses really don't like any flies or midges around their face. Now he sets off with purpose. He's very quick back to the third fence, and now moves away from the 5th, heading towards his vertical. Just slow it up a little bit now, trying to get a good shot back to this, the Equine Veterinary Medical Centre vertical, before he heads up to the Oxer, which leads him up then to the double. Oxer in, really moves up here now. And now you can watch the body language. Winding it up now as he gets through the track. 6 goes to 7, strides again. 8 strides to the double. And now he needs to stay coming here if he wants to be a contender. There's been a good effort. Just outside the leader, I'm afraid, but a fence down now is going to put pay to all of those efforts.
Yeah, one knockdown and 67-56, a good time there. Not quite quick enough to take the lead if he can remain clear, but disappointing for Meshal Al-Qathani.
There you can get a good view. He's got a mask, he's got a fly fringe, he's also got the mesh on him. This is a turn back to the 2nd last fence. Had to take a chance there. He knew he was in contention. Jumps the last fence fine. But that 2nd last fence is going to keep him off the podium at this stage of the competition.
We'll move on to Syed Saad and Kingsguard, this 10-year-old stallion for Egypt next. Tom, maybe just talk us through those all the different types of headgear, the masks, the bonnet, everything that can be used now for the horses.
You can see here Syed has a simple fly fringe on the horse. Again, they come in different types. This is quite a neat one, so it's over his ears, around the top of his head, it goes under the bridle, not too much over his forehead. We'll see some of them will be a lot longer and actually come almost down over the horse's eyes. Obviously not covering the horse's eyes, but it would look a little bit that way. Some of them will actually come down the front of the nose and be attached to the noseband. Different styles. What it does really is it deadens the sound in the arena. So particularly if you've got a very electric crowd or you have a lot of background noise, it'll just deaden that a little bit and hopefully get the horse to concentrate on the rider. What you'll also see on this horse is a sheepskin noseband. And the purpose of that is you can see this horse as he comes to the fence, he just lifts his head a little bit like what just happened there. And that just tries to encourage the horse not to get his head too high on the approach to the jump. It basically blocks his vision if he gets his head into that elevated position. Unfortunately, that fence down now has just kept this really nice chestnut stallion from having a clear round. He's only a 10-year-old, but he's a lovely big horse with a very bright future. What we see some of them then is they'll have a little, almost like wing mirrors on the side of the bridle. They'll come down along the side, and what they'll do is they're sort of like little blinkers. What it does, it means the horse can't see directly behind them. So if the horse is a little bit rider shy, that'll help on that. Here he's very good in the double of verticals. And then obviously the next thing then is we see them with the titanium mask. That's got a bit of titanium woven into the fabric. It's designed again just to have a little bit of a calming influence, that feel around the horse's head. The next guy coming in actually has a titanium mask on him. So you can see it here now.
Well, that was 4 falls for Saeed Saad there, but we move to Kuwaiti rider Ala Al Sultan Magnum de Avina Humbra. Just talk us through that titanium mask.
Yeah, basically it fits over the horse's head. You can see there's a big space for his eyes. It goes over his ears. And very simply what it does is it just has a little bit of a calming effect on the horse. Just a little bit of support around his head. What the science behind it is, I'm not 100% sure.
But each horse is different too. There's a calming effect for this possibly, but for someone else it may not suit.
It doesn't work on all horses. Some of them are quite happy with it. You see it started off in the racing game. For some of the horses a little bit freer, they used it. Sometimes you see the horse with blinkers. Then horses had some blinds on them going down to the start. They weren't permitted to race in them, but they use it going down to the start just to keep the horses a little bit quieter, and it transferred over into the sport horse game then. Fence down unfortunately at the second fence, and now he's had the first part of the double. This 14-year-old gelding. He's a big horse, you can see covers a lot of ground. Adds to the 8 and now gone on to 12. You can see he's a really big physical horse. Covers the ground. Good canter. Great length of rein.
Well over the finish there with time penalties as well, 80.78. It will be a total of 19 for Ala Al Sultan Magnum de Avina Humbra.
You can see gag snaffle on him. That's the second fence. First part of the double, front rail also gone on that. And that's the last fence coming up. You can just see just barely clips it with his toe.
Proceeding on to another rider from Turkey. This time it's Leila Asuman Unsal riding Numero S Van de Hagen Z by Numero Uno. It's a 15-year-old gelding.
Now sets up with a good canter. You can see he's quite strong in the canter. But he's good on the jump. Fighting a little bit with Leia now. Would like him to just settle into it now a little bit more. She has a D-ring snaffle. Holds him out nice and wide. Just catches that behind. Good on the oxer. Comes to the double. Hops in. Loads of scope coming out. Now again you can see the outrider just using that outside rein to keep her horse balanced, keep him straight. Huge stride down that distance. The rider really has to work to keep him off the front rail. The 15-year-old, he looks in great condition. Settles into it now. Just clips the back rail with his hind legs. Last fence.
2 down is 8 faults in 73.39 for Turkey's Leila Asuman Unsel Nero is van de Hagenzet.
Just started off a little bit keen at the start of the track. You can see he was taking quite a hold. Leia had her work cut out just to try and contain the big guy. And then as he went through the round, he just settled into it an awful lot better.
We go to Egypt, which will be Sif Eldin Isam Abbas. He rides Health Cliff Blue, 15-year-old stallion next.
Sif looks like he might be in business here. Sets up nicely for the first fence. Goes on 9 strides. Just get these first couple of fences out of the way, and then you can start to wind it up. Jumps the oxer, and now you can see just lets the horse travel a little bit more. Nips back after that fence, the 4th, heading for the 5th fence. As you can see, it's quite a distance between to that, and then you're onto these related distances. Related to the oxer, 6 strides related to the double oxer vertical. And now, neat as you can, nice and tight, and that's very tight here, back to the vertical. And now 7 strides will be good for this guy. He hasn't got the longest stride in the world. Now up on the 8 to the double of verticals. Horse is very neat, really good technique, not wasting any time in the air. You can see skips over the fences. Now Sif just needs to ride through the corner here. Keep pushing, jumps it on the angle. 8 strides will be good home, could be in contention.
Really quick, really fast, 61.91. That's the new leader. We've been waiting for a challenger with Sif Al-Nassim Abbas for Egypt goes into that lead.
Yeah, executed this really well. You could see the body language going to the first fence. He meant business. Horse doesn't have the biggest stride in the world, but he was very clever in the way he tackled the course. Look how neat and tidy this little horse is over the double of verticals. All the way through, didn't waste any time in the air. Proper little professional. I think he's a speed class specialist, this little guy, and watch again. Last fence, he's so neat and tidy, really careful behind. Yeah, waves to the crowd. Great opportunity for the local riders to impress in front of their family and friends.
Yeah, super performance there. He's so pleased with that, and rightly so. For Saif El-Din Isam Abbas, as we go to Mesam Bisharat and Sea Lord DC for Jordan.
What's it, only an 8-year-old stallion. Third lick of a My Lord Qatar mare. Pushes through the corner for the 3rd fence. And gets underway now. It's going reasonably wide on this roll back to the vertical. Fence 5. Now on the pattern, 7 strides to 6. 6 strides to the double. We can see our leader was so tight to that wing there. Really neat and tidy back here. It's a little bit wider on the approach. Horse just shaking his head a little bit into the double of verticals, but when he gets there, has a little rub on the back rail, but leaves it in the cups. Push through the corner now for the oxer. Good shot there. Last fence coming up. Not going to be a contender, I'm afraid.
Could it be another clear? It is 74.07. Nice clear there. She's really happy with that, rightly so. Nation Bisharat Sea Lord DC.
Yeah, went out for a nice clear round, neat and tidy, executed. You can see Scopy horse, look at different shape of the jump than our leader at the moment. Goes high. Good here on the vertical again. You can see lands out really far at the back of the jump. This is the double of verticals. Has a little rub here in front. Just watch that cup just moves. Pole moves a little bit in the cup, but it stayed there.
We go now to the Emerald Isle. Flying the tricolour for Ireland is Derry Glen Qatar. The 10-year-old stallion is ridden by the owner, Deirdre Riley.
This is one of her own. She bred this, bred by Patrick Williams, my apologies. Lovely big type, very athletic. Deirdre really enjoying her time here in Doha. Neil Fern with her, of course, the trainer, also competes some of the horses when the opportunity presents itself. Now it goes nice and wide here. 10-year-old. You can see just very soft in the jump. Makes it look very easy. Not using this to be, not trying to be quick, just wants to be nice and accurate. Give this horse a good experience under the lights. You can see this guy has a fly mask and a face mask on him. Two reins set up. Beautifully turned out as well. You can see real shine off the horse. Looks $1 million. Jumps the second last fence very nicely. Just canters down. Not worried about the clock this evening. Worried about the performance.
Yeah, they remain in the cups there, but slow pace exceeds the time allowed of 78 seconds with 4 penalties then for Deirdre Riley, Derry Glen Qatar for Ireland.
Yeah, very nice picture all the way through. You can see Deirdre sitting really nice and quiet on the horse, keeping everything lovely and level. Balance and presentation is what it's all about. There you go, a nice position. You can see this horse looks very scopy, very soft off the ground.
So we have a refusal for the next partnership starting there and there. That's David McPherson and Menir with a 9-year-old gelding by Para-dressage for Great Britain.
Yeah, David's just put his hand up. It's not to be this evening. You can see this horse just a little bit anxious. David, lots of experience. He's an Olympian. He's one of the top trainers in the world now. He's here with a couple of students, and I had a chat with him earlier on. It's only a 9-year-old gelding by Balladurue out of a Lux Z. David knows his job inside out. Not going to happen this evening for them.
He's so experienced. He knows the feel of the horse. He knows when not to push it and when to push on. So wise decision there by David after that refusal at the first fences. He's the only one that can really tell how the 9-year-old gelding there is performing tonight. As we move on to the Saudi Arabian rider, Abdullah Ibrahim Abdullah, and Louis du Corral, this 8-year-old mare, is by Louis Dam, and it's out of a Harlequin du Corral mare as the 52nd partnership to step forward here in the Longines arena of Alshaqab.
Little bump on the first front rail, but it stays there. He just let that near 4 hang a little bit. Now just gets his timing a bit better sorted out. I suspect this might be an Irish bred with that breeding. Back rail is gone on that third fence on the rollback. Was trying to be quick. You can see he didn't hang around on the first opportunity to turn in. Just unraveling a little bit now. This is only an 8-year-old in under the lights, so you can see just getting a little bit unruly. Abdullah now just comes a little bit wider. Just going to get everything settled down. And there we go. 7 strides. And lets the horse just breathe a little bit. Let the horse relax. Double of verticals. Again, he's going to go nice and wide here. Get the horse to relax a little bit. Use the corner. Get your horse to settle. You can see the horse jumping high enough there, but just let that front leg dangle. This is just an experience thing. I've no doubt this horse is well able to jump, but just the atmosphere, the bright lights have all just gone a little bit too much.
Yeah, that last fence is also down, so it will be a total of 16 for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Ibrahim Abdullah with Louis de Corral in 67.02. We proceed on then to the next, and that's the Qatari rider, Saif Mohammed Al-Kaibi. This is Delcy Royale, the 13-year-old mare, next.
Not the biggest mare. You can see she's light on her feet. Could be very nippy if he decides to go and use her athleticism. She's not wasting any time in the air. She's nice and careful. He's winding it up nicely now. Just needs to keep pushing through the corner, get all the way around before you turn back to this vertical. Yeah, just 2 strides. Turn up there. You can see he opens the stride a little bit up to the oxer, then supports her. Up to the double now. This mare looks very clever, very intelligent. Now needs to keep coming through the corner if he wants to be a contender. Don't keep pushing. She looks like a really genuine type. Again, you can see she's going to go the 7 strides here, 8 strides. Oh, and again, the Longines oxer has claimed another. Very neat through the double. And he knows that he's just gone that bit wider again. That's going to affect his time. What a pity. Looked like it was a nice round. Lovely little mare. The 13-year-old. Self-Francais.
Good pop over that last fence. He looks towards the big screen to confirm it is 4 faults and 72.03 then for the state of Qatar's Saif Mohammed Al-Kaibi. Desi Royale.
Jumps vertical here. It's the next fence that he has a problem with. I think he should do everything right. Rider's in the right position. Puts the horse there. You can just see he catches that pole with her hind legs, unfortunately. And then he just took his foot off the gas on the way home.
Well, we have 23 left to go and an approximate finish time of 21:40. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this evening of sport. We continue to another one of the Saudi Arabian riders joining us here in Doha. This is Khalid Al-Hadi, and he rides a 20-year-old gelding. It's by converter out of a Adraco dam. This is Capoin.
Fabulous to see some of these older horses staying in the sport. They love the game, and they're so well looked after now. Great credit to all his staff, the grooms, the vets. Look at this boy, spring heel, 20 years of age. Brilliant. And we've seen older horses at the Olympics competing at the highest possible level. He's not hanging around here now. Neat and tidy back. Lets him gallop through the corner. 20 years of age, he's seen it all. Now, this is very, very quick. We can sit up now and keep an eye on this. Now stay on the pattern, 6 up to the double. Comes in on the, come out on the left-hand side. Yeah, gallop around the corner. He can't get any closer to the wing than that. That's as neat as you can be. Now what's he going to do here? Very sensible, I think. Go to 7, go to 8 to the double. Neat in. Oh, he's good, this old boy. He knows his job. Look, just galloping through the corner now. Second last coming up. Jumps that brilliantly. Now he's galloping towards the last. Have we a contender?
One from home, the time to beat is 61.91. He's 2.5 seconds quicker. We have a new leader as Khalid Al-Hadi goes into the top spot.
That's fantastic. I love seeing these older horses staying in the sport and look, doing what they love doing. There's an example of a horse and rider just really enjoying themselves. They both have a smile on their face as they go around. This old boy, he knows what his job is. Look at his front legs, look at his hind legs, ears pricked. I think this guy could read the course plan if you let him. That's fantastic. That's really good. He's so good in his body. Look how nimble he is. Look how fit he is. Great credit to the owners, to everybody who manages them. And well ridden, Khalid. You gave him a super spin. You've got your nose in front, boy.
And even 2.5 seconds quicker of what was the leading time. So very impressive indeed. As we go to another one full of experience. It's an 18-year-old stallion, and the rider is very experienced as well. It's Abdullah corrections, not.
Yeah, we've moved on. Number 56.
We will move on to Abdulmoshin Al-Shamari and Felton des 5 Shins.
Yeah, this is a 15-year-old stallion. Mayogana seat. Starts off very nicely. You can see just gone a bit wider here on the rollbacks, just opting for keep the rhythm through the corner. But if you want to trouble the leaders, well, the fence down is going to keep them off the podium now either which way. But you need to be quick, you need to be neat and tidy, and you need to take the shortest possible route. Now, this class has hotted up. 59.42 is our leader. That's a serious time, and it's going to really challenge everybody else. Anybody who wants to knock Khalid off the top spot's going to have to work very hard to do so.
So it will be just a 4 there for Abdulmoshin Al-Mushari, and 69 seconds exactly.
This is the vertical after the double. Only 3 poles in it. Careful jump. Very good here in the double verticals. You can see horses very clever coming in. Super coming out. Slightest little rub.
We continue with the jumping here and proceed to a 10-year-old gelding. This is Angel du Marema AZ. I think this is Jordan's Rad Nasser.
It's a really big horse. You can see he just cruised down the 8 strides there. 10-year-old, lots of scope. Just skips over that fence, lots of power. You can see really strong horse behind the saddle, really well muscled up. Brad doesn't think this guy's going to win a foot race against some of the smaller, lighter types. So he's opting to jump a nice, neat, clear round and enjoy the experience in here. It's very nicely done there. You can see this horse has a lot of potential. Only a 10-year-old. Very good in front of the jump. You can see measures it perfectly. Lovely, nice and still in his mouth. Ears pricked the whole way through. Working. Perfect harmony between horse and rider. Brad very experienced. Producing this horse beautifully now, and definitely one we're going to see a lot more of as the season progresses. Oh, and he just a bit of a misunderstanding down to the last.
Yeah, well, he has cleared it there. It's just the 4 faults and 75.86 then, but he gives that a nice pat. Just a little bit of reassuring there from Rad Nasser.
Yeah, the horse's foot perfect all the way through. I was singing his praises as he just canters down here to the last fence. Rad just pushes his hand in front. You can see just putting a little bit of leg on. I think the horse maybe just looked at the gate. Killian, you actually spotted it earlier on and asked about the, the difference in the style. Little gate. I think the horse just put his head down, looked at the gate, and just lost his concentration for a split second. You can see now just giving him a big pat. He knows it's only a minor indiscretion.
As we welcome into the arena, this is Ottoman Barakman and Queen Van Het Groothof, this 10-year-old mare. Is a Belgian warmblood and rides for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as he approaches the first fence.
Yeah, he just picks up a nice canter now. Set sail to the first. Goes the 9 strides. This mare is nice and forward. You can see ears pricked. She likes her job. She just takes him down to the fences now, and that's a nice place to be. So he's quite neat back here on the turn back from 4 to 5. She slows up a little bit, gets the shot that he wants. Now let's come up. Oh, unfortunately, just drifted a little bit on the line and has that top rail down. A bit of an alteration here, makes the adjustment, pops into the double. Now you can see the rider knows that his chance is gone, so he's just going a little bit wider. Good on the vertical. Straightens up for the Longines Oxer. Bending right to the double, vertical in, vertical out. Last fence coming up. Just lets the horse travel down the distance on the 8 strides.
Yeah, good performance. 70.27, just the one knockdown. So 4 faults here tonight for Othman Barachman and Queen Van Het Goedrehof.
Yeah, very neat. She's a very competitive little mare. She's only a 10-year-old. Very nice. Wouldn't be surprised you see these two win a few of these classes in the next couple of weeks. They just tidy that up a little bit. They won't be too far off. Unlucky fence down.
It's a really mixed field here tonight, and great to have a mix of the 3-star riders. And moving up is a rider that we've already seen here in the second half. Deciding to do so is Federica Stark. It's Toronto DW, a 7-year-old stallion this time. She rides for Germany.
Yeah, pulled out a very nice horse in the earlier part of this class, and this one looks like a really blood type again. What an opportunity for these young horses and these producers to bring 7-year-old into the stadium with this atmosphere, stadium lights, stadium jumps, and world-class course builder. Toronto DW. Super on the jump and a really good hinge behind. Watch the way this horse uses its back end. Very light on her feet. Now just settles in the mouth a little bit, just keeps his head a little bit quieter. That'll just make it a lot easier for the rider. And then you can see the quality of the jump. Frederica just doing everything she can just to keep everything nice and still, nice and quiet. Great balance through the corner. Watch her hands, how quiet they are. And when the stallion lets her present him to the jump, he's got such a super technique.
Yeah, really nice, really clean. 75.18. A great clear for Federica Stark at Toronto DW, Germany.
Beautiful jump there again on that decent oxer at the second fence. And then you can see every now and then this horse just throws his head in the air and just a little bit unruly. Frederica is really using all her skill and experience to stay. You can see at the end of the line then she sat lovely and quiet and allowed the horse to really use himself over the jumps. Doing a brilliant job on that horse.
Haza Mubarak Al-Hajari and Kofi APGZ is approaching the start line with the 11-year-old gelding that's by Kazimo out of a Qadam de Revel Dam Zangaside gelding for the state of Qatar.
Now let's see what he does back to 3. Now you get to wind it up a little bit. Watch what the body language says when they jump this. Do they move forward and gallop towards this? Or are they a little bit more relaxed? Neat here. Oh, just ended up with a stride more than what the rider wanted there, and that's caused that front rail to come down. Yeah, it was just starting to wind it up. Looked like he kept the balance all the way through the corner. Looked very good. Just a bit of a miscommunication between horse and rider. Now it looks nice and even, but unfortunately that fence down is going to prevent him from being a contender. We have 17 clear rounds. Any faults whatsoever. But I mean, there'll be no payday today.
Knockdown of that last fence will be a total then of 8 faults and 67.62. That's for the Qatari rider Haza Mubarak Al-Hajari, Coffee APGZ.
Here we go, just catches it on the way up. That's the last fence. He also has that, catches that in front as well. Not to beat this evening.
To Kuwaiti rider. This is Dokhari Al-Mutheri. And flash back, an 11-year-old gelding. It's by Indalo van Kredelhof out of a New York dam. This is the 60th pairing 2-step forward here in the Longines arena of Alshaqab tonight.
Yeah, he's got a 3-ring snaffle back to 1 rein. You can see there's a different version of the fly fringe. Comes down, narrows up, and is connected to the noseband, so it comes out the front of the horse's head. He also has that red ribbon just to indicate that he's a little bit horse shy. Wavers a bit down to that fence. Just once he stepped off the line, he made it very difficult for Dari. Flashback just came off the line that he want. Now you can see he's already drifted left to the first jump, and now he's really got to try and get across here and get onto a straight line again. Look, he drifts left. Not happening for this partnership this evening.
Yeah, 2 refusals there at the second fence, but that means he cannot continue. As the bell is rung by the grand jury, that indicates his round has come to a termination here as he is eliminated this evening. That is the end for the Hari Mutlaq Hamad Al-Uthari with flashback. Proceeding to the next but on your screen, that is the man that will fly the flag for the next nation, and that is Egypt. Abdullah Khatam with Consagros.
10-year-old stallion by Contargos, out of satisfaction. Mare owned by the Armed Forces Equestrian Club. Had a good look around. Looks like he's hatching a bit of a plan. We'll see what he's going to try and execute. It definitely sets down the first distance. He's after leaving out at least 1 stride, and he's very, very quick back here to 3. If he can keep this together now. Oh, he's very neat. You can see this horse is quick over the jumps as well. Wiggled over that vertical is the best way to describe it. Mightn't be technical, but it's descriptive. Now you see slows up to the oxer, so he's regrouping. Now double coming up, and once he lands out of this, watch the body language again. He's going to be as quick as he can be. Very neat, very tidy. Gallops at it now. 5, 6 strides to that. 6, 7, goes 8 to the double. Now he can be quick back here. He trusts his horse. It is careful. He's going to jump this on the angle. Does he get the shot? Yeah, he goes for it. Now he's galloping for the last, or whistling in the crowd.
It's not quick enough to go into the lead, but it's 1 second slower, which secures second place at this stage for Abdullah Haitham and Consagros, Egypt.
Great effort. Definitely started off as he meant to continue. Left out a couple of strides from 1 to 2. Really set sail down there. But then was clever enough around the track. He didn't just let the horse run away. You can see he just slowed him up, balanced him again when he needed to. Judged it very well. Maybe would have taken 1 stride less to the 1 or 2 spots, and that just might have given the seconds that he was looking for to get his nose in front. But a very solid showing to go into second place.
Well, that means Khaled Al-Hadi still is in the lead, 59.42, the time to beat for the state of Qatar. Miram Ahmed Al-Bonin with Voldunit Tardon, but 4 falls.
First fence down. This is a 17-year-old by Tinka's Boy. Another one of our veteran competitor horses. Again, looks an absolute picture. Look at his ears pricked. Enjoying his job. Mariam now just sits really well. He's very neat and tidy in front. You can see great technique. Now she just keeps it nice and organized, gets it balanced. She'll be aware that she's had the first fence down. Try and have a good solid showing here now. Get your horse into the ring. Look, he's lovely and keen. Look at the expression. Really wants to get at it. A little bit too keen in the double there. Just jumped in with a bit too much enthusiasm. Second last fence. Really good. Now she just lets him travel down. Little adjustment. Sits him up.
Fossen 78.22 for jumping, but one additional time penalty there. Total of 9 for Mayam Ahmed Al Bonin and Waldenui Tardon, Qatar.
That's the second fence, front rail on the ground. Watch him here in the double. He just really enthusiastic, just toes in there and just runs out of space, really.
Proceeding to Egypt's Noor Haitham. He goes with an 8-year-old stallion. It's owned by the Armed Forces Equestrian Club, of which you will see a lot of the Egyptian riders riding some of those for the Armed Forces Equestrian Club, particularly the Egyptian riders, that is. It's an 8-year-old stallion, and it's titled Nixon, as the 63rd to go in this first class of day number 2.
Looks like a drop noseband and a little palum. Back to a single rein. Eight-year-old. Beautiful dapples. You can see horse looks really healthy. Lovely coat on him. Very good waist. Love the way he just opened his back there on that oxer. Got into the air and just came again. Really rounded over that. Now, comes through the corner. Nice and neat. Not hanging around. Not as quick or as brave as our current leader. But definitely if he can stay on this pace, he'll be in the top half of the clear rounds. Leaves out a stride there down to the Longines oxer. Let's see what he does here to the double. Pops in nicely. Horse works hard to get out. Neat and tidy back here now. He's just wound it up for the latter end of the course. He's not going to go into the lead, but where's he going to be?
Well, to get into the top 6 at 68.65 it was, but with 65.0 on there, he ranks into 4th. A strong performance there for Noor Haitham and Nixon.
Yeah, Noor just wound this up as he went along. Started off nice and organised, and then particularly used the horse's experience on the turnbacks. The horse is very athletic, and that's a really good shot there of the horse jumping the second last fence.
Well, we only have 12 left to go, so 19 clears gives us about a 30% clearance rate at the moment. Let's see if this rider, who's already been in with 1, rejoins us with her second ride. She's ranked 46 in the world Longines world rankings, that is. It's Nadia Peter-Steiner riding the 10-year-old mare, Colonette van Het Hazelin Huke for Switzerland.
Nice and balanced down to the first line. She goes 10 strides there. Comes back now and keeps it on a real even keel. This is a production round. This mare is a very talented mare, one for the future. Nadia using the opportunity now just to get her in underneath the lights and just get a nice controlled round. You can see stays on a beautiful rhythm all the way through. Again, that trademark position, you can see light seat, hands in front, really balancing her horse. And you can see she gets nice and straight. She lets the fence come to her, moves across a little bit from right to left to get straight. And you can see she presents the horse beautifully to the center of the fence every time. Watch that marker. Again, knowing that she's trying to produce this horse for the top of the sport, comes a little bit wider. Lets the mare soften in front of the jump. Last fence coming up.
With the time of 76.36, it's a real steady pace there from Nadia Peter-Steiner, but produces another clear, and that's clear round number 20.
Yeah, the mare's really attractive. You can see she's beautifully physical type, really strong across her back there behind the saddle. Look at the amount of muscle that she has. Very light off the ground. Does everything very nicely. Only a 10-year-old. You see her here in the double. Beautiful technique. Much now, you're just sitting lovely and still and letting the mare learn from this experience.
Well, interestingly, that performance matches nearly the first performance by Nadia. Her time, 76.36 there. Her first performance was 76.61, and that means she ranked 17th and 18th. Foot perfect on each time. Well, let's go to Bishop Kiali next. This is Agidia Z for Jordan.
Unfortunately, he's had that fence down. So he just takes his foot off the gas. He's going that little bit wider now. It's a 9-year-old mare by Agnew Senior out of a D Montesemoli. Good in the double. You can see that the horse really hinges behind. He's going wide here again. Just gets back on the line to the Longines Oxer. Yeah, vulcanized Pelham 2 rein setup. Has a little bump on that vertical coming out, but he's gone wide again. Just getting into the ring, letting the horse, nice forward stride there to the second last fence. Let the horse travel up to it. Same to the last. Let the horse learn.
74.26 is what the clock will stop at there. 4 falls for Bishop Kiali as he rides Agidia Z for Jordan.
Just catches that fence up in the top corner by the in gate. Catches it in front on the way up. And foot perfect around the rest of the course other than that.
Farsad Al-Kathani approaching the first fence, clears that with Gaia de Cours. This 11-year-old mare by de Montesemoli for the state of Qatar. Lucky escape there.
Yeah, again, all the poles just disappeared. This dapple grey mare, really attractive colouring. You can see she's retained some of her darker young horse colourings. Yeah, he's lost his right stirrup now, so should be able to get it back on his way back to this fence. 1 to 2. Second fence didn't work out, but yeah, he's carrying on. Well done. Got his stirrup back now, and now he's just going to use this to get this horse to concentrate. 10-year-old mare. Again, not so sure how much experience she has here under the lights in this main arena with all the atmosphere that comes with it. But she's settling into it now nicely. Farah's doing a good job here. You can see, just gives her plenty of support. Keeps her between leg and hand. Make sure she gets her nice and straight. Watch the mare. She pricks her ears when she sees what the question is. And now canters down to the last fence. Much happier than she was at the beginning.
Just a 4 in 71.79 there for Farsad Al-Kathani for the state of Qatar with Gaia de Cours.
Not sure what we're going to see here now. It just wasn't to happen. Look, whoops. Everything gone a bit wrong, but thankfully the poles are so light, the cups are so flat, no harm done, everything just shot away in front of her. And then, credit to the rider, Farah's just sat nice and quiet, got his stirrup back, gave the mare plenty of support and finished up quite nicely, definitely.
Well, we move to a rider, a European rider that has been enjoying their time out here in Qatar, including the hospitality and the wonderful jumping on facilities. This is Serene Sharif with Easy Casserola for France.
Yeah, Anglo-European studbook horse. It's only an 8-year-old. Really smart type, you can see. Very flashy with the 2 wide hind legs. Really exaggerates the movement, but boy, the jump is quite impressive. Light off his feet. Covers the ground really well. Also, you can see great elevation in the canter. Serene has been putting on some really solid rounds here in the last couple of weeks. What we've seen, very talented rider, very stylish. Again, you look at that lower leg, doesn't budge, really supportive. Nice balancing hand, super position over the jump as well. Watch, lets the horse maximum use of himself. Stays on that lovely rhythm. I have to say, these French lady riders have been a tour de force here at the Doha Tour. There's a number of them here, and they have been on the top of their game. Megan, Laura, Serene.
73.40 is a clear, and a nice steady clear there for Serene. Sharif is producing our 21st clear.
Yeah, very nice horse here. You can see lovely type, lovely and light off the ground, good physical type, great conformation. Look at that hind leg coming through on the canter and how light he is in front, and then great use of himself over the jump.
Well, just when you're mentioning the French ladies and their performance, Tom, we've got to hear some of them in our studio. So just a reminder to our viewers, we will have some post-competition analysis coming up, including a preview for the next competition. That starts at 10:15 local time here in Qatar, with Suzanne Tittle and Jasmine, 12-year-old mare for the United States of America.
With Cartano, I'll have a Bonami mare, 12-year-old now. Nice and neat over the jumps, not wasting any time. Has that nice light seat, letting the horse travel and run, not wasting any time. Now keeps coming through the corner. Has to straighten up here. A little bit of an angle back to this oxer. 8 strides now to the double. You can see Suzette sits really quiet, minimal interference. It's back here nice and square. Not quick enough to be a contender. She won't be on the podium this evening, but I think she'll be very happy with this round.
67.44, she is indeed with a clear there. Riding Jasmine is Suzette Tittle for the United States of America. Well, that's a strong enough performance to rank 6th at this late stage. We only have the 7 left to go.
Yeah, very neat mare. You can see lovely expression. Suzette has presented the horse beautifully to each of the jumps, kept up that lovely rhythm all the way through. Yeah, very happy with that.
We return to a rider that's already presented one in this arena. He rejoins us with a 10-year-old gelding by I'm Special the Muse. Riding Incredible Z is Egypt's Ismail Osama El Bore.
Yeah, comes up 8 strides on the first distance. He'll have seen what the current leaders have done. He knows exactly what the target is. So he'll decide whether he thinks his horse is has the foot speed, the experience and the agility to be a contender. It looks like he's gone that little bit wider back on the roll back here to 5. Right in the percentages, I think. The 10-year-old, you can see he's neat enough on the turn back, hasn't gone any wider than he needs to. Lets the horse travel up here, moves forward to the Longines oxer, makes it as easy as possible, and now just balances into the double verticals, comes out on the right hand side, stays really tall. He's braver here. Not going to be a contender for a podium, but coming to the last fence will be a solid round.
Certainly is. 66.79. That's good enough now to slot into provisional 6th as a clear round by Ismail Osama El Bore, riding Incredible Z. Clean, precise, just not quite quick enough, but he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, horse is nice on the jump. You can see good technique, plenty of scope.
Well, another rider with his second ride, and Basim Mohammed rejoins us, this time with the 11-year-old stallion by Vigora Aresores out of a cream on top mare. This is Watnan Pop Eye for the state of Qatar with a refusal. Fence 3.
Difficult jump. You pop fence 2, you're heading up into the corners, little water feature up there. It's a turn back away from this big screen. It's a turn back away from the pocket. Horse just didn't put his eye on the fence early enough. Mohammed looked like he was actually trying to set out on a winning round. Oh, comes now. You can see the arena party in there getting the fence sorted, even trying to get a run back to it for a second presentation. You can see is actually quite difficult. Look, he's up there underneath the screen trying to get straight, and the horse good the second time round, but this isn't going to be.
Well, he's a rider that has so much experience. He's one of the top riders, if not the top rider for the state of Qatar. And he's made the call, raising his hand to the ground jury to retire Watan Popeye, Bassing Mohammed.
Yeah, look, they know each other quite well. He knows this horse. It's not in his character. It was something, just a little bit of a miscommunication up there. His chance is gone. There's plenty more opportunities this weekend for those partnership to have a good showing and get themselves a result.
We only have the 5 left to go. 5 to disrupt the placings, of which Khaled Al-Hadi is our leader, 59.42. Let's see if a rider wearing the maroon jacket of Qatar can do or beat that time. Nasser Al-Ghazali rides What a Pleasure, 16-year-old mare.
Cruises up the first distance. Good on the oxer. Now you can see, just keep a nice rhythm back to this fence. Gets good and straight. That's well done. Now you can see just starting to move it up a little bit. Doesn't look like he's interested in getting on the podium. He's looking for the performance this evening. 16-year-old. There's a few nice classes here in the 3-star as we get into the weekend. There was a good 1/5, 2 good classes here on the last 2 days. That'll plenty prize money, plenty opportunities for these good horses. This is a 16-year-old. He's at a fence down here as well, so. But he'll look forward to getting back in here into the main arena. Horse looks very capable. This here we know is a very talented rider. Last fence coming up. Going to finish on the 4 falls.
Yeah, will just be that 4 falls. 72.44 is the score then for Nasser Al-Ghazali. What a pleasure for the state of Qatar.
Here we go. Watch the back rail here on this. Just catches it with the front legs, just misjudges, comes down that little bit too early. Safety cups come into play.
This is the turn of the next rider, of which we only have the 3 remaining. And approaching the start is Ali Osama Abdelghani. He rides Obama Van de Watchhouver for Egypt.
This is a 12-year-old stallion. Now gets second fence out of the way. Had a good look around. He's neat and tidy back to the 3rd fence. Now he can start to wind it up. You can see, yeah, he means business. Pushes through the corner. Nice and neat back here now. Just jumped this. Comes up on the 7 strides here. Horse has got his ears pricked. He's reading it. Nice when you have a horse that's really looking for the fence in front. Super in through the double. Now it needs to keep coming through the corner. This is reasonably quick. We'll have to get a look at the timing when he gets through the course. Good shot down here again. Another one of these horses, not the longest stride, but it allows the rider to keep coming forward, which is most important. Does the 8 now. He needs to be brave back here. He's got a little bit of time to make up, I'm afraid. He's not going to trouble the leader. Last fence coming up, keeps galloping. Slows up. Gets the distance.
It's clear in 64.82. Good enough for 4th position. Nice round for Ali Osama Abdelghani, Obama Van de Watchhouver, Egypt.
Yeah, good percentage round here. Started off nice and conservative. Was careful on the first couple of jumps, and then he's just started to wind it up. 12-year-old was very clever. Look at that, right up against the wing, taking the shortest possible route, and then moved up to the last fence.
Well, this is the last opportunity for the home nation to claim the win here on day number 2, the first competition of this second day of the CHI of Alshaqab, presented by Longines. For the state of Qatar, Sultan Salam Al Nuaimi with Cavallina, the 11-year-old mare.
On the 8 strides, he means business. You can see this mare really trying here. Oh, that back rail is gone. You can actually see the cup has just dropped out there, that safety cup, and the second fence has gone as well. His chance has gone early in the competition. Look, if you want to be on the podium for this, you're going to have to go from the very beginning. You'll have to gallop through the start, stay up on the 8 stride pattern, and then just keep going. There isn't much scope for slowing up. Our leader Khalid was foot perfect all the way, used his horse's experience and his talent, and really set a, looks like it could be a competition winning round, though we have one at the very end who is a winner through and through. So will she be able to come and upset the boys? We'll have to wait and see.
Don't go anywhere. We have so much more left to come here this evening with Sultan Salam Al Nuaimi clearing the last fence in the time of 71.07. He's disappointed with the 2 on the ground. It's 8 false with Cavallina.
Here we go. You can just see him. Gallops down to the second fence and left out a stride on that distance. And now, look, he had to cut the corner, had to keep pushing. You can see the body language. He knows that back rail is a long way away.
We only have the 2 left to go. Philip Weishaupt is next to take this challenge on, and we have just received word, actually, Christian van der Veen, who was last to go, is now not deciding to start. So just the 2 left to go as Philip Weishaupt and Aberdeen Z approaches the start there. An 8-year-old gelding by Annex Dusinger for Germany.
It's an 8-year-old, beautiful type. What an opportunity for a young horse starting your career to get a man of this experience bringing you into the ring and showing you the ropes. You can see why they've opted to give this horse to Philip. Looks like it has all the potential to be a Grand Prix horse when it gets a bit more experience, a bit more mileage and a bit more time. But boy, what an opportunity. Travel these horses over here, you can imagine how this will bring this young horse on. But he's unfazed by the atmosphere, he's unfazed by the lights, and you can talk about connection and balance and control. These 2 are demonstrating it all. Good on the stride pattern here. Look, perfectly straight again to the oxer. And watch him now as he presents into the double. Philip just a little bit of leg in, sits quiet, keeps him balanced on the way out. Now you can just see, just reconnects the horse on the turn back. Super over the oxer. Last fence coming up. This is exhibition stuff, really.
Super clear there, 75.80, but it's on the slower pace once again by the German rider, Philip Weishaupt and Aberdeen Z. That's clear round number 25.
Yeah, look, this is on a young horse, real smart horse, lots and lots of potential. Availing of the opportunity here in the 3-star to get into the main arena. You can see double bridle. Look at the soft connection there that Philip has. Beautiful. Hands of the surgeon.
Well, we know it is definitely the Saudi Arabian national anthem played out here tonight as Khaled Al Hadi leads it. 59.42 is the time to beat. Only 1 left, and that's his fellow countryman Mohammed Al Sakar riding Skubilensky Thesis, also for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Skubilensky looks like he's up to the challenge. He's left out a stride on the first distance. He's neat and tidy back. He's going to put it up to Khalid. Now just galloping through around the corner. This horse is big stride. Now just gets lost a little bit on that, but he recovers well. Now gallops up here. Horse shortens up, jumps the oxer. Now, can he keep it together? Could nearly have opted to come inside the way he landed after that. Now, turns back. He's going to leave out a stride here by the looks of it. Yeah. Leaves a stride out on that now. Can he going to do the same again? Yes, he is. Ooh, horse backs up beautifully. How are we looking on the time? He's got... I don't think he has enough time to get home. Oh, great effort over the second last. He's galloping at the last, though. But he doesn't jump it. There's 3 or 4 fences there on that line. I just think Supplementary just put his eye on the wrong fence, unfortunately. Looked like he was going to get himself a podium.
Well, how unfortunate is that? No poles on the ground, but a refusal at the last fence means Mohammed Alshaqab is prevented from standing on that podium, as the time was good enough going into the final fence. So unfortunate, but a noble effort by the Saudi Arabian rider, Mohammed Alshaqab, Supplementary. Just clears that penultimate fence.
Watch him here, he's galloping to this, but unfortunately I think the horse has put his eye on one of the other fences. When Mohammed said, no, we're coming right-handed already, the horse had already decided he was going to jump on one of the other jumps. What a pity, because he was very good up to that. Not to beat this evening.
Well, you can see the disappointment there in the kiss and cry stand by one of the supporters. Grooms possibly of Mohammed. That's how disappointing it can be, especially when they're so close to the end. The results on your screen there. A win here this evening, tonight, for Khaled Al-Hidi in 59.42. And further down the listings there, as we display all the results, Abdullah Haytham is second, third, Sheikh Alan Ism Abbas fourth, Ali Osama Al-Janabi fifth, Noor Haytham and sixth, Georgina Harvey Lazarus. Well, that is the top 6, but we continue to show you all the results. What a way to start us off here in day number 2 of our jumping, part of the CHI of Alshaqab, presented by Longines. That was a 3-star competition at a height of 1.30 meters. It was a 1-round speed, but we are preparing for the big one here tonight. That is the 5-star jumping, a height of 1.55 meters. It's a jump-off class. It will be heavy hitting, and it will also be a qualifier for the Grand Prix. We're so looking forward to that one. It has a significant prize fund. We're looking forward to seeing the likes of world number 1 Scott Brash, but also the likes of Emanuele Guardiano and local riders like Basim Mohammed for Qatar. All coming up in just a moment, but don't go anywhere, as we still have the presentation and, more importantly, some studio analysis coming up in just a moment.
Well, I'm joined by Khaled Al-Hadi. Many, many congratulations. You must be thrilled with that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My horse was jumping very fast, fantastic today, and I think he was in his day. And he have 20 years old. He have experience, and that's it.
Well, well done. Thank you for speaking to us, and go and enjoy your prize giving.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, a great way to kick off tonight's action, of course, with that 3-star speed class, a very well-attended competition with nearly 80 competitors coming forward, and a very well-deserved win for Khalid Al-Hadi there. What a performance, going sub 60 seconds to take the title, absolutely with the foot to the floor. He just said there his horse jumped extremely well, and we really could see their partnership in action tonight. The team are just preparing for the prize-giving ceremony then down in the arena. That will be kicking off very, very shortly. But coming up next, we have the 5-star competition, the feature class of the night. This one has a prize pot of €165,000 and is set to be a fierce battle between the best of the world of show jumping. It will have a jump off, so 1 round followed by a foot to the floor moment in the jump off for that 5-star feature competition. I'll hand back over though to our teams to take you through that prize giving ceremony. Of course, that will be John Stokes for you here in the arena leading the proceedings.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in tonight's winner of the 3-star 1 meter 30, 1 round against the clock for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with Capone, Khalid Al-Hadi.
السيدات والسادة الحضور الكرام، مراسم تتويج الأبطال للمسابقة 130 سنتيمتر بالتصنيف العالمي، 3 نجوم من البطولة الدولية المرموقة CSI الشقب 2026 برعاية لونجين. ألف مبروك للبطل المركز الأول المملكة العربية السعودية خالد الهادي. سيطلب منكم الآن المعلق اللغة الأجنبية السيد جون الوقوف في حال القدرة احتراما لعزف النشيد الوطني للبلد الفائز خالد الهادي المملكة العربية السعودية.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, if able, be upstanding for the national anthem of tonight's winner, Khalid Al-Hadi, for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is an honor and a pleasure to welcome forward sports manager Salman Al-Suwaidi to make the presentation of awards. Congratulating up first our winner tonight for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Capone and Khalid Al-Hadi.
بكل فخر واعتزاز سعداء بأن نحظى الآن بالمدير الرياضي السيد سالمين سلطان السويدي لتتويج الأبطال.
Stepping forwards in second tonight, well done to Egypt, it's Consagros Abdallah Haytham.
ألف مبروك الآن عبد الله هيثم جمهورية مصر العربية المركز الثاني.
It was third to Egypt, Saifaldin Assam Abbas, but there in fourth for Egypt, Ali Assama Abdul Ghani Obama van der Kwaktover.
نبارك ونهني أيضا المركز الثالث سيف الدين عصام عباس والآن علي أسامة عبد الغني. ألف مبروك لمصر.
And congratulations in fifth place with Nixon for Egypt once more, Noor Hazem.
مرة أخرى الآن لفرسان وأبطال جمهورية مصر العربية نيكسون نور حازم.
Our grateful thanks to sports manager Salman Al-Suwaidi for stepping forward to make the presentation of awards. But this young talent's going to enjoy this moment. The spotlight now well and truly on the winner tonight for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's Capone and Khalid Al-Hadi. Your winner, Khalid Al-Hadi. In second, Abdallah Haytham. Well done to Ali Assama, Abdul Ghani, and Noor Hazem.
كل الشكر والتقدير للمدير الرياضي السيد سالمين سلطان السويدي تتويج أبطال 3 نجوم متر و30 سنتيمتر.
A brilliant start to the evening's action. It's going to get bigger and better from here on in because our attention now starts to turn towards the 5-star action with the world's very best here in Alshaqab once more, and that will be starting at 10:15.
Longines, elegance is an attitude.